Right, so welcome to our next instalment of Apocalypse here. We've decided to go for one of the classic matchups here. It is 7,000 points. We were going to play 6,000, but we've upped it to 7. Astra Militarum versus Tyranids. There's not a Space Marine in sight here on the table. It's pure Astra Militarum against a never-ending swarm of Tyranid biomass. So, the background here for this story. This is the city of Vaigon. War has been raging for a long time. The Astra Militarum constantly on the retreat, and this city here, the Tyranids, are about to claim this city in its entirety, and so Imperial orders have been given that the important HQs be extracted from this area before it's too late. So you can imagine the situation here. Astra Militarum defenders will be fighting on two fronts. Tyranids breaking in through the city ruins here. On this side, sweeping through, not much of an Imperial defence on this side. Then the main Imperial defensive line here will be held by the Astra Militarum with a Tyranid frontal assault here as well. So it'll be a war fighting on two sides. Imperial guards sandwiched in the middle. Relief may well turn up here on this main highway running through the centre of the board on either side, so reinforcements are possible here, but it's a last-ditch attempt and time is running out for these important characters to be extracted from the battlefield. So that's the fight. We're looking forward to this one. Nice fluffy scenario here. Multiple objectives in this game, and hopefully a nice narrative and storyline will develop as the game goes on. We'll take a look and see what the Tyranids have in their list. Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's Apocalypse here. 7,000 points. Tyranids versus Astra Militarum. It's been 4 years since we have played pure Tyranids against Astra Militarum here. So looking forward to this fight. We've got a unique scenario lined up here for this game. I'm going to run through the Tyranids here. So it's 28 command points in total, multiple battalions, brigade, a number of other detachments as well. So no particular order, just going to run through the units. So unit of 3 Rippers, unit of 9 Rippers, unit of 4, just to make up the points to 7,000. 3 units of 3 Raveners, all with Death Spitters, a bit of firepower available from them. Unit of 4 Venom Thropes, 2 Neurothropes here, freshly painted up. 2 Hive Tyrants with monstrous Lash Whip and Bone Sword, 1 with a heavy Venom Cannon, and then 1 with a Stranglethorn Cannon, 3 Hive Guard, 4 Broodlords here for the Nids, 3 units of 20 Gene Stealers, all with Rending Claws, and then there's Acid Maws inside each of those units as well. Then we've got a large contingent of Carnifexes here for the Tyranids, a brood here with monstrous Siphon Talons and Crushing Claws for them. Then a mixed brood here, 2 of them with Stranglethorn Cannons and monstrous Siphon Talons, and then 1 of them with a set of 2 monstrous Siphon Talons for that kind of effects there. These here are Screamer Killers with their 2 sets of monstrous Siphon Talons, and then these ones here, Enhanced Senses, Heavy Venom Cannons, and Crushing Claws for this brood of 3. There's 7 Lictors here in the list, 3 units of Tyranid Warriors, 1 of them with Stranglethorn Cannon, this unit here, Stranglethorn Cannon, and Devourers, 2 Death Spitters, and Heavy Venom or Venom Cannon, and then here Rending Claws and Siphon Talons for the other unit of 3. Just cover the units across here. There is a Vaigon, a Tyrannifex with Rupture Cannon and Stinger Salvos. There's a Trigon and then Trigon Prime there at the back. Morlock on the left. Hive Tyrant with Twin Devourers and Brain Leech Worms for him and Wings. Another Winged Hive Tyrant there with monstrous Siphon Talons. 2 Hive Crones are in the list. Old One Eye is in the list as well, just on the right hand side. An Exocrine for some extra fire support, and then a newer unit here. The Toxocrine is in the list as well, and then some more troops to help fulfill the brigade, the larger brigade here. 3 units of 30 Hormogaunts and 3 units of 30 Termagants there as well. A vast horde of Tyranids here as they prepare to take on the Astra Militarum in this fight. James has his guard available to fight in this game, and a massive force that he has assembled as well. We'll take a look and see what he has in his list. Okay, 7,000 points. It's just over 7,000 points here, just so that James could fit in all of the units. There it is, the vast array of Astra Militarum here. We've gone heavy on infantry this time. James will need them here to fight a war on two fronts. Armoured columns as well. He's going to use multiple formations here and some of the newer formations as well. And he's been busy painting up new units, which he'll introduce as well. We'll let James run through his Astra Militarum list.
Right, this is my 7,000 points of the 18th Cadian Regiment, Astra Militarum, and we have a brigade, a battalion, battle forged, 2 spearhead detachments, and 2 vanguard detachments, bring it to 24 command points. So starting off with the warlord himself, or the war master, as it is Apocalypse, is Lord Castellan Creed. He has the fixed warlord trait, which is superior tactical training, so whenever he issues an order on a 4+, an additional order is issued, and he can issue 3 orders as well. And his personal bodyguard is Colour Sergeant Kell. Now this is pre-fall of Cadia, so I'm not using the Relic of Lost Cadia, because in the lore Kell died by the hands of Abaddon, and Creed is captured by some chaos force and Zinch in a vault or something like that. But anyway, according to the narrative, so he is obviously the War Master, Lord Castellan Creed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who he is. That's his ranking. And then second in command, his warlord. We have the general. This is the regimental commander. He has the Grand Strategist warlord trait, and he gets command points back on a 5+, and he can also do a re-roll of any type that he wants once per battle. And then third in command we have the company commander of the 2nd, and I'm going to give him the Bellowing Voice warlord trait, which adds 3 inches to the voice of command, so instead of 12 it becomes 18, something like that. And then the relic I'm going to choose is from the Vigilus book, and we're going to spend 2 command points for the Emperor's Conclave Infantry Company, and then we have the Emperor's Fist Tank Company, so it's down to 22 command points. So the one relic I'm going to use is for the tank commander. It's called Hammer of Sunderance, which is a battle cannon, but instead of D3 damage is flat 3 damage. Battle cannon. So that's the one relic I'm going to choose. So let's go through all the lists. This is quite overwhelming. So basically we have an entire company. Now this is the narrative, I believe, to be accurate as possible according to the codex. So we have 9 infantry squads, and each squad is equipped with Vox casters and grenade launchers, and the sergeant is equipped with las pistol and chainsaw. The rest are equipped with las guns. So that's the 9 basic infantry squads. They are regulars. And then we have a unit of 30 white shields, also known as conscripts. There's 30 of them. And then we have 3 platoon commands. Each platoon commander.
What's those?
Yeah, these are the platoon. So each has a regimental or platoon banner, Voxcaster, Medipack and a flamer. That's times 3. And then we have veteran platoon commanders. Now these are not platoon commanders, these are aka company commanders, just to fill out the HQ slot. So for an extra 10 points they can issue an additional order. So it's kind of like the veteranization of the command structure. So to fill out the HQ choices, so this commander here has got a power sword and plasma pistol, power sword and las pistol chainsword. And then we have 3 veteran squads. These are elite choices. Alright. Each squad is equipped with a long las or sniper rifle, plasma gun and a melter gun, and then all the same here, but the sergeant is equipped with power sword, this one here, power fist, plasma pistol, power sword. So that's the veteran squads. And then we have 5 special weapons teams. We have 1 unit of flamers, 1 unit of plasmas, 1 unit of melters, 1 unit of long lases, and 1 unit of demo charges. So that's that. And we obviously have the heavy weapons platoon. We have 1 of each of the heavy weapons. So we have autocannons, heavy bolters, missile launchers, las cannons and mortars, and that's ×2. There's 2 platoons.
Yep.
And then for the recon force for the company, we have the leader of the Scout Sentinels. He's equipped with a hunter killer missile. So everything you see here is all WYSIWYG. So you've got an autocannon and all the same here of autocannons. And then for the auxiliaries we have a unit of Rattlings, a unit of 10. And then we have Ogrins with Ripper guns, a unit of 10 of them, and a Bonehead. And then we have the Master of Ordnance, Officer of the Fleet, Astropath. And then we have the General's Bodyguard of the regiment. So we have the Regimental Standard, nice newspaper. And then we have Voxcaster, Medipack and a Melter gun. And then we have obviously the company commander in command of the company. And then we have a Ministorum Priest with a chainsword. And then we have a Primaris Psyker. He has got Night Shroud and Psychic Maelstrom as his powers. And we have a Lord Commissar equipped with Power Sword, Bolt Pistol. And then we've got the company command squad. We have everything's the same as the platoon command except it's got a heavy flamer. And then we have 3 commissars, bolt pistol, close combat weapon, plasma pistol, and then we have another commissar, senior commissar, equipped with a power fist. And then we have Wyvern Psychers, a unit of 3 of them. And then we have a Tech Priest Engine Seer, equipped with a power axe. And then we have, for the debuting for the first time on the channel, it's a unit of servitors. Okay. I thought it would be quite good fun to use. They have the Mind Lock special rule, which their ballistic skill 5+, but when they're within 6 of a Tech Priest Engine Seer, their ballistic skill and weapon skill increases to 4+. So I think that's all the infantry. Now we're going on to tanks. So we have the dedicated transports. We have a dedicated transport Chimera, equipped with a hull mounted heavy flamer, and paid the points for Dozer Blade and a multi-laser. Same with this one here. Same with this one, except no Dozer Blade and a hull mounted heavy bolter for those 2. And then we have the tank company itself. Obviously I spoke about the relic here. And the tank commander is equipped with a hunter killer missile, Dozer Blade, and the Agura array, which is this device here, which grants a reroll 1 dice on the hit rolls. And then we have 3 demo Lean Rust Demolishers. And we have hull mounted Dozer Blades, hull mounted las cannons. This one's got the Sponson multi-melters, Sponson plasmas, Sponson heavy bolters. And then we've got the battle tanks with the Dozer Blades, which I paid the points for, and all 3 of them are equipped with Sponson heavy bolters. Same here with the back squadron, but no Dozer Blade. And then we've got Armoured Sentinels debuting on the channel. Okay. So I'll try them out for the first time. They've got 3 las cannons. So narratively they'll be with the spearhead, so they'll be equipped with anti-tank weapons. And then we have a Baneblade equipped with the Sponson las cannons and twin heavy bolters. And then we've got the Bane Sword equipped with the Sponson las cannons and twin heavy bolters as well. Paid the extra points for that. As 2d6, by the way, that cannon. Range 120 inches, strength 14, AP -4, d6 damage, and it's 2d6 shots, and it's a minimum of 3 damage as well. So it's a very nasty weapon. And then we've got the squadron of Hellhounds, all the same except for the squadron leader. He's equipped with a hull mounted heavy flamer. And then we have 3 Basilisks with the Earthshaker cannons. So we've got 3 of them. And then we have, debuting on the channel, and the first time ever, we've got the Wyvern, and then we have the Hydra, and then obviously we've got the Manticore. And then we have a Valkyrie Vendetta gunship. And also we've got 3 fortification networks, and these are 2 auxiliary super heavy detachments. So that brings it out roughly to 7,000 and something odd points. Yeah. So it's a power level of 419, I think, something like that, in case you wanted to know. So, for courage and honour, for the 18th
Okay, great list. That James holds the record for the longest list run through ever on the channel. A lot of stuff, but it's nice to get the whole collection out and a chance to debut some units and to mix them in for an Apocalypse game. And there ain't nothing better than using your Astra Militarum to shoot up bugs here in this fight. So James looking forward to...
It's all narrative.
Yeah, it's great. No, it looks really good. So it's a large force, but they've got to fight a war on two fronts here, so it's going to be a tough challenge. The Tyranids going to have some crazy rules to help them out. They're going to be recycling a lot of units here. It's going to be a never-ending swarm this Astra Militarum force will have to fight against. So we'll just cover the buildings here. We're going to be using some of the official rules for these fortifications. So these James has freshly painted up. There's 4 of them. Imperial bastions.
Toughness 9.
Yep.
20 wounds. And it counts as a transport, so men on top can't be shot at until the bastion is destroyed. And it has 10 fire points.
That's going to really help.
So, and also the automated defence systems.
These, yeah, any of these that you see dotted around.
Bastions as well.
Bastions, heavy bolters, automated. These can add ballistic skill 5+ for these. James will also get access to all of the las cannon turrets that you see scattered around the battlefield. Yeah, this one here, James will make use of.
Plasma obliterator.
Yes.
I think it's got like 18 wounds.
Yes.
Toughness 8, and it can have 10 men occupying it as well.
Oh, right, okay, great.
2d6 shots, strength 8, AP -3, 2 damage. But
Very
it always
useful.
Supercharges.
Right.
So,
Great, so James will get use of those. There's 4 of them. Going to be a very good spot to put infantry inside. It's going to be hard for the Tyranids to crack these open, so that will really bolster the defence. Aegis defence line here, James will make use of. Units inside the barricades here are going to get cover. Yes, there is a building here, can make use of cover on there. Fire base here as well. And there's trenches, sandbag entrenchments here as well. James will make use of them. And then here.
That's the Sky Shield landing pad. It's 20 wounds, toughness 8, 4+ save. If the defence platforms are up, units get a 5+ invulnerable save as well as cover. If the landing flaps are down, they don't get that rule, but flyers get D3 wounds back when being repaired.
Oh, right, okay, great, interesting.
And it has a 5+ invulnerable save for units on the top.
Like a flyer?
Enemy and friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the rules. Just covering the rules here at this point. Usual rules as well for craters, so Tyranids might be able to make use of them. And there's a number of craters around the other side for the Astra Militarum as well. Just to explain what's going on here in this scenario. So, James has a number of models to try and extract from the battlefield. There'll be victory points available for them. So that'll be here. This general needs to be extracted. If James manages to get him off the battlefield, Valkyrie's coming to pick him up for a scheduled time. Then James will get 3 points. If the Tyranids kill him, they'll get 3 points. And then we're going to make it a point available for each of these as well. Imagine there's a command party. This group needs to be extracted. The main priority is the general, but then you've got Master of Ordnance, Master of the Fleet, and the Astropath. These all need to be removed. These important characters need to be taken out of this sector. It is doomed. So the Imperium thinks to be overrun. So they have decided to remove the important assets from the battlefield. All right. So James has given him as a power for him. Terrifying visions. Yeah. No wonder he wants to leave the leave the battlefield here. So the rest of this army here is expendable. Creed's in amongst them to hold the defence here. I think Creed wants to stay. He's determined to hold on to this sector and not let it go, perhaps defying Imperial orders. They're happy enough to get out of this area as quick as possible and to rendezvous with the incoming Valkyrie to pick them up. So there'll be an armoured column, or a mechanised column here of Chimeras, and inside there will be this HQ plus the veterans. They will be arriving through the ruined city streets. The point that they come on will be here. They'll be rushing as quick as they can to escort the commander and the other HQs to the extraction point here, which is the Sky Shield landing pad. The Valkyries booked in and scheduled to land there to pick them up, hopefully at just the right time before the Tyranids can overrun the sector. So there'll be that going on whilst this battle takes place. James will need to split his force and hold the line across here to stop the Tyranids from smashing through into the defensive line here. So there'll be a war fought on this side of the table, and then across the other side the Tyranids will be trying to break in here as well, so they'll be attacking from this direction, and James will have a defence force across this line to try and hold them back for as long as possible. He may be able to hold the Tyranids back entirely in this game,
We will.
or he'll be slaughtered. We'll have to see. So we'll also have key objectives, 6 of them, set up across the battlefield, key areas for the Tyranids to try and capture, and that'll help determine how well the Imperiums hold in this sector. If they do well, then the sector will not fall. If it's a complete overrun, then the Imperial command will have been correct to ask for these HQs to be removed, or to order these HQs to be removed from the battlefield as soon as possible. So a lot of bonuses there for James. Great defensive position, loads of buildings. Now for the Tyranids, a huge force that they have, we're going to play it so that all infantry units, standard infantry units, that's going to be Gaunts, Hormagaunts, Gene Stealers, Ripper Swarms,
It has to be done.
those standard sort of infantry units, they're automatically returned to the battlefield. As soon as they're destroyed, they come on. Then we're going to also allow the Tyranids to bring back all the other units on a 5+. Any of these other units that are destroyed will come back onto the battlefield, and so we'll have a steady stream of monsters arriving in a constant flow as well. That'll add the pressure on to James nicely as well. Tyranids can come on either from the table edge, or they can set up 18 inches away from any Imperial unit, just to represent the tide constantly flowing in. So pressure on the Astra Militarum to keep those Tyranids back as much as they can. So to add another twist to this game, the Valkyrie is scheduled to arrive about turn 4, but it could arrive early, before before the commander's ready for pickup. So this is a dangerous point here. If it arrives too early, or it could arrive too late. So we're going to play turn 1, it's going to be a 6+, it's going to arrive very early. Turn 2, a 5+, still early. Then turn 3, 4+, and then turn 4, when it should arrive, a 3+, and then we'll roll 3+ after that to see if it arrives. So, so who knows when it turns up here? Hopefully on schedule, and then meet up at just the right time. But it could all go wrong, or it could be well executed here. As the fight in the city of Vaigon erupts. Okay, so starting to set the scenario up here, you can see the armour column has been deployed. So James has put the column on the board. Yeah, the commander's there. You can put the flag on there as well, James, if you so wish. This is the regimental standard.
Subscribe.
Just here. Okay, so at the front just here, and then 1, 2, 3 units of veterans there. So you can imagine them hurtling through as fast as they can. This extraction unit here.
The advisors are in there as well. And
the advisors, yeah, the whole lot. This is where the points are for the Astra Militarum.
Come here! Come!
Creed's in amongst the city here. So, and Astra Militarum lines here. So they've almost made it to the lines. Hot on their heels are the Tyranids in pursuit. James will get to move those again. One move, and then the Tyranids will burst on to the scene. So this could go well. The Valkyrie could turn up just at the right time. It's not too far a distance for James to cover. So this could go well, or it could be a disaster. We'll have to see. We've placed 6 objectives on the battlefield. They're all worth 3 points each as well. So even if the general is extracted and his command party, still the Tyranids can go for the win here by claiming this sector as much as they can. So an objective just here. This is objective number 4. So this will encourage the Astra Militarum to try and keep the Tyranids back. And objective 5 is just here on the firebase. Objective number 1, we've made the landing pad of importance as well. Objective number 6 on top of this Imperial bastion here as well. And then objective number 3 up here on this large bunker. We haven't made these objectives because they can be destroyed and so on, so we'll leave those, that's fine. And then we have objective number 2 just here as well, so again to encourage the Astra Militarum to hold the line here as well. Yeah, so we've moved that one down just because this building could be destroyed as well. So if the Tyranids are clever, they might try and blow that up quite early on in the game, but they've got to weigh that up between other targets that need to be destroyed. If they start shooting at buildings with all their firepower, it'll cost them dearly with the response from the Astra Militarum. Not all of James's army deploy. Most of the infantry and the artillery type units and the super heavy tanks, and then James can expect the armoured fist tank column to arrive on either side here. We'll randomise where it turns up, and then also a column of hellhounds as well, scheduled to arrive here in this sector. You can imagine Imperial forces just all enclosing in on this area, knowing this is the important point of the city of Vaigon, and to make sure these important generals are extracted as soon as possible, and also to hold the line here. I'm not sure if this sector will fall. Depends how well the battle goes here this day. Yeah, it's just to clarify, when the Tyranids come up, you'll see it as it takes place, but they deploy 18 inches. They can't move after that. It just means that, say the Astra Militarum have pulled back all the way to here, Tyranids can come on this edge if they wish, or they can just deploy within 18 inches. It just keeps the tide up instead of this long distance to go, and it starts to stretch the game out. It just keeps the pressure on the Astra Militarum and reflects this huge, imagine the whole area being filled with Tyranids and pushing through. We'll start deploying units now. Let's start deploying Astra Militarum units in the defence here on both sides. Okay, setup complete here for the Astra Militarum. Again, fighting on 2 fronts. So units will be facing this way, the Tyranids sweeping on, and then also to the main defensive line on this side, units set up facing out in this direction as well. So I'll stay zoomed out here so you get an overall view of what's going on. So there's the armoured column, rapidly approaching the Imperial lines. Regular infantry unit here, also inside the sandbag emplacement, and then just across the other side there's one in that emplacement as well. Then James making good use of the bastions here to try and keep these heavy weapons teams alive. So the Banesaw just in between, las cannons inside this one, missile launchers inside here. Then we're getting to units starting to face the other direction. So the Basilisk squadron's deployed just here, just tucked away behind these buildings. The Psychers in there, a platoon command, and then a specialist weapons team here with the melter guns. Then the Tech Priest here with the Servitors has deployed just in amongst these vehicles. Then heavy bolter team inside this firebase. Then a regular squad of guardsmen, a platoon command here, a commissar to keep an eye on things. This would be the nervous place here to be on the battlefield behind this Aegis defence line. You can imagine the Tyranids, they are currently stacked up here. This isn't This isn't a quiet sector here. There is a red tide sweeping right in this direction. So they'll burst onto the table here, and these guys will be in trouble straight away. But we'll see if they can hold the line for as long as possible. So a guard squad here. That's been joined by a priest as well, just to bolster their morale. And then another squad here. Inside this fire base, there is the Ratlings. Another squad of infantry just to their left. Then a Commissar here. Manticore. A specialist team with demo charges. What's that? Yeah, demo charges. I can see them just in there. The Ogrins as a counterpunch here, defending objective number 1. Then coming around this side, 2 Guardsman squads stretched along the Aegis defence line. And then behind them is a strong defence on top of the bunker here. So a platoon command. Creed is in amongst them. A plasma team just inside this trench here. And then autocannon teams 1 and 2 just behind them. Inside here, James has set up a unit of heavy bolters inside so they can fire out from this building. A heavy weapons specialist team here. That's the commander for the Scout Sentinels, the Recon Sentinels, yeah. He set up a unit of missile launchers here. Mortars have gone inside here, nicely protected. James reckons these could be dropped in by Valkyrie, these vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Like a heavier transport.
Or heavier transports, drop them in. No problem at all. But happy to sit there with that flak Hydra. And then across here, this is the Wyvern.
Storm Shard mortars.
What range do they have?
I think it's like 24 or something like that, but it's like shred.
Yeah, okay. No, I should be able to provide. And these units here, they can provide firepower in either direction, so James can call upon their firepower as it's needed. Platoon, regimental command here, and then specialist team with the long lasers, the sniper rifles. Then inside this bastion, a laser cannon team, very useful. Scout Sentinels just behind a large unit of conscripts manning the sandbags. This is the extreme end of Imperial deployment on this flank. And then we've seen that squad deploying just there. James has deployed the Baneblade to anchor the centre and to provide some heavy support as well. Right, 48 inches James has just checked for this one. So yeah, it can fire in either direction and provide some much needed fire support. Just look around to see if there's anything else. No, alright, so James's deployment done. It's going to get nasty. Believe me, this is going to be nasty here when the Tyranids attack. So take a look at these guardsmen whilst they are at full strength here. Okay, so the way we're going to play this here, James will get turn 1. That means that the armoured column will move straight away and make its move here towards the landing pad. James will roll a dice. If he gets a 6, the Valkyrie is going to turn up way too early. And then James can make any final manoeuvres with his units if he feels he needs to adjust them. And then we will go on to Tyranid turn 1, where units will start to burst onto the table. Then turn 2 is where the reinforcements arrive. So on a 3+ will play for James's 2 armoured columns. That is, we'll go around and show you here. It's the Hellhounds and then also the tank company as well.
So I can't at the same time. Then afterwards they act independently.
Sure, yeah. So 3+ to bring this lot on, along with the armoured armoured sentinels, and 3+ to bring them on as well. And as we said earlier on, they could come on either end of the main highway. Yeah, okay. The same for the Tyranids as well. We'll play 3+ for them, just to keep it evens. No. So units like deep striking Trigons, with Gene Stealers, Lictors, units like that arriving, Raveners as well, they will turn up on a 3+ turn 2 onwards if they decide to go into deep strike. That'll mix the game up nicely here with reinforcements arriving at different times. Okay, so the battle is set. We'll go on to the first turn. Astra Militarum will go first. We'll let them make their manoeuvres here before the red tide attacks on both flanks. here we go. Turn 1. It is Astra Militarum turn 1, so there'll be no Tyranids on the table here. Chance to see if the Valkyrie arrives, and for James to move his column as fast as possible. So roll dice to see if the Valkyrie arrives. I don't think you don't want it to turn up. No, no. So don't roll a 6. Oh, it's rolled a 5. Next turn, it will be a 5+ to see if it arrives. Okay, so James can move his column here. So 12 inches plus. This is an important roll here to see how far you can go. 4. I think he'll keep that. 16. So 16-inch move. Nice here. A great cheer goes up from the Astra Militarum lines. The general is here and alive, and he's just driven past the outer lines here of the Astra Militarum defence. That'll bring cheer and encouragement here to the Astra Militarum units as they see their commander reaching the lines here. I'm sure he has a story to tell of the fighting that's taken place deeper within the city against the Tyranid Scourge. Yeah, James rolling up individually here for these veteran squads. He'd like to keep them alive as much as possible. Their firepower will be useful. 18 inches, okay, yeah, full throttle here as they move up.
They're going to activate smoke to perform a screen.
Yes, if you want to pop smoke here with multiple units, then James may well do that to try and preserve his lines. He's trying to protect his army as much as possible. So column's moved up here. Well, let him make his... Oh, how far did that go?
14.
Oh, not as quick. Oh, one Chimera lags behind the others. Oh dear, that one may well get assaulted in close combat and blown to pieces. But we'll see. We'll let James make any other manoeuvres here with the rest of his force. Okay, movement complete here. There's been a fair bit, actually. James making some adjustments with his units. So we've seen the armoured column move up as quickly as possible. So then round here, he's given the order. It's a tactical withdrawal from the front line, anticipating that Tyranids have got way too close. They are here. They'll be coming on there. So to try and prevent any assaults from taking place, he's ordered these units to fall back 6 inches. They can reman the barricades, just trying to avoid assault, and perhaps reman the barricades then to let off some volleys against the incoming Tyranids. That's the plan, just trying to preserve these frontline units as much as possible. The priest has done a runner as well. James has made an advance move, rolled a 6 for him. Manticore's slight adjustment, just pulling back again to increase the range between it and the incoming Tyranids as well. And yes, James moved a Psyker around here. Primaris Psyker. He was here, he's moved across here. James has a plan to use his psychic power to try and help the Baneblade here to try and protect that. Alright, so movement complete here for the Astra Militarum. We'll go on to Psychic Phase for them next. James has a few powers to cast. Right, so Psychic Phase complete here. The Primary Psychic cast Night Shrouds. That's -1 to the hit rolls.
Yes.
On the Baneblade. Okay, useful. Very, very useful indeed. Okay. Any other Psychic powers around the other side? Did it go off?
Yes, it did go off. It only applies to Smite.
Right, okay.
So I can still roll 2 dice like normal.
And what was that called?
That was called Psychic Barrier.
Psychic Barrier's gone off. James has put that on the Bane Sword. And that's +1 to your armour saves?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, decent help here from the Psychers. Imagine that is exactly fitting the fluff here. The Psychers would be putting the emphasis here on these super heavies to try and keep them protected as much as possible. So also you're going to activate smoke on every single vehicle.
Yeah.
We're not going to mark it here with smoke. We'll just every vehicle here is popping smoke.
So he'll be on 6s to him with your average ballistics.
Right. The Bane Blades have smoke as well. They can activate. Great. All right. So yeah, James, it's useful getting to go first here, just preparing the lines for the incoming assaults. So turn 1 finished. Smoke's been activated. No assaults, no charges to take place. Morale's fine. Morale holds for now. We'll see though as we go on to turn 1. The Tyranid tide is about to arrive. Okay, Tyranids turn 1. Getting our trays ready here to start moving the models. James, give me a hand as well. The way we're going to place psychic powers here, going to give the horror to all 4 of the Broodlords. Got to keep it straightforward here. Psychic Screaming to all the Hive Tyrants and Winged Hive Tyrants are going to get that as well. Catalyst I'm going to give to the 2 Neurophropes. We're going to play, you can only manifest it once per turn, but I can give the power out to multiple units. And then going to give Onslaught here to the Vaigon for its psychic power, and that keeps things nice and straightforward. Then Tyranids will have to make use of Smite multiple times here, should be useful. Okay, so we'll go on to movement here for the Tyranids on turn 1. Okay, The Tyranids are here. No wonder these chimeras are moving as quick as they could up the table, because Tyranids are in hot pursuit. So I've got a number of units that will randomly start arriving turn 2 onwards. All the Ripper Swarms, unit of 9 Raveners, 2 units of Genestealers I've paired up with the 2 Trigons, the Morlock as well, and all 7 of the Lictors to turn up in different places around the table as well. Everything else is on. So on this flank here, we've got Carnifex, a monstrous creature heavy. Winged Hive Tyrants moved across here and advanced. So nice quick manoeuvring from that one. Hive Tyrant down here, advanced with the Tyrant Guard, unit of shooty Carnifexes, Venom Thropes just behind them, another unit of Carnifexes, a big advance move made by them. They're at the lower levels here, but that's where they've reached. There's a Broodlord there, there's a Broodlord here, here and here, so 4 Broodlords, large unit, Genestealers, 20 of them, made an advance move with them. They will be able to assault, so that Chimera is in trouble for sure. Then the 2 Neurothropes, the Exocrine and the Tyrannifex have all made it onto the board here down the road. Okay, then around this flank, we've played Metabolic Overdrive and gone another advance, 8 plus another advance move, 14 inches in total. So the Toxicrane here leads the way, hurtling towards the Astra Militarum lines. And then advance moves made here by the slower Carnifex Broods. And then Old One Eye is here as well, just tucked in there. Also, so very strong this assault here from the Tyranids on this flank. Then around the other side, lots of infantry pouring through here. A massed line of Gaunts and Hormogaunts here for the Nids. So Hormogaunts units here.
Good job,
here and here. Yeah, James is saying good job he did pull back here. And then Hormogaunts or Termagant units, the shooty versions here, here and here. Tyranid Warriors, 1-2 units just there. And another unit just here, the close combat ones, the Rending Claws and Scything Talons. Winged Hive Tyrants arrived as well. A Hive Tyrant here also with the Stranglethorn Cannon. And then Big Mama's arrived on the right-hand side here as well. The Vaigon. And then 2 Hive Crones, 30-inch move from them, ready to fire. They've moved across on top of the bunker as well. That's Tyranid movement taking place here across the board. A huge red tide on this side. And then a very strong monster force on the other side, breaking through the city. No wonder the orders have been given to pull back and to get these characters off the table as quick as possible. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next here for the Tyranids on turn 1. Okay, Psychic Phase is taking place. Not too bad. Loads of Smite being cast here. We didn't go for the Horror. Not really any units within 24 worth giving a -1 to hit. So tons of Smite coming through. Down to 2 wounds left here on this Chimera. So it's been electrocuted quite heavily. That was Smite coming from 2 Neurothropes here. 4 of the Broodlords as well using their Smite. So increasing it by 1 each time, but still a lot of them coming through. One of them I rolled an 11. So it was d6 damage, rolled a 6. Then across here, Catalyst was cast onto the Tyrannifex to try and protect him, so 5 plus be ignoring wounds. Psychic Scream coming from this Winged Hive Tyrant, killed 3 of the guards. James tried to deny but failed. He rolled a 9. James rolled a 7 in response. We didn't activate Onslaught here, and because our weapons are out of range anyway, and Smite out of range as well. And we used up too many smites, so we've run out of smiting options to try smite with this one. Okay, correction. James is saying smite levels off at 10. Never more than that. Okay, we'll give it a go then. So we'll go for smite here.
Nope.
Failed. And then we'll go for smite here from him.
Perils.
Oh, perils, but that's going to be D6 Astra Militarum brought down, 6 of them electrocuted.
I'm trying to deny it, but it's impossible.
Yeah, so D3 wounds on me. 3 wounds taken on the Hive Tyrant here, but 6 guardsmen electrocuted to death by that psychic attack. All right.
Horrible.
Horrible way to go. So, nasty attack there. Oh, yes, you can multi-command reroll.
Narrative play.
No, I want to keep... No. I'll keep that because I like the result.
It's kind of realistic.
Yeah, no, we'll leave it as is. Okay. You can do multiple command rerolls here. It's Apocalypse level, so you can use the same strategy multiple times in the same phase. Okay, Psychic Phase complete. Not too bad here. We'll go on to the Shooting Phase next to the Tyranids. They do have some decent heavy firepower. Remember, all of James's vehicles have popped smoke, including the Super Heavies, and there's some Psychic powers in play to try and protect them. But we'll see what kind of damage we can do. Shooting Phase for the Nids next. Okay, so just to report the shooting at this end. It's all been resolved. All of these units here can't shoot. We fired a draw cannons first of all. James played Take cover twice on both of the autocannon teams. It's very useful. And the bunker save as well. 3+ save coming through. Draw cannons -1. We put a wound here on one of these. James passed a load of saves over here, so no damage coming through against them. Then it was here, the Twin Link Devourers and Brain Leech Worms. They fired through and managed to pick up another wound, took out a base. And the last 2 bases are picked off here by the Stranglethorn Cannon at 2 damage a time, AP -1. It's good firepower there. So one of the heavy weapons teams is gone. And then we fired both sets of Tentaclids here from these 2 Hive Crones and put some mortal wounds here, down to 8 left on the Hydra. So some damage coming through. It's not terrifyingly bad. But starting to pick off guardsmen, and one heavy weapons team is no more. We're not playing First Blood here in Apocalypse, so there's no need to worry about that victory point being conceded. We'll press on to firepower now on this flank. Okay, so pick up some of the firepower at this end. Heavy Venom Cannon firing from here, and it's going to go into this.
Bainsword.
Yes. -1 to hit rolls.
Correct.
Because of smoke.
Yeah.
Okay, D3 shots here with the Hive Tyrant. 2 shots, steam 3s, then becomes 4s. Missed. Okay. We'll fire these Carnifexes here. We're going to fire all 3 of them in. So 3d3 shots. So that's going to be a total of 7 shots coming through. They have enhanced senses. So 3s to hit them becomes 4s. So, come on, got to get a good set of hits here. Needing 4s. Yeah, it's not bad. Strength 9, toughness
8.
Oh, 3s to wound. Oh, this is good.
4+ saves, with power.
Yes, 2 up save becomes a 4 up save. Okay, all of a sudden, a bit of damage can come through here against this super heavy tank. Good firepower here from these Carnifexes just across here. Okay, so 4s.
So 2.
James is way over the other side. Hi James, you're quite some distance over there. He's fouled 2.
Down to 20 wounds.
Oh, 6 wounds coming through in total. Good firepower here from the Carnifexes. Impressive stuff. Right, going to fire the Tyrannifex next. He's going to fire through and try and take out James's command tank here. So what am I on to hit you? Just -1.
-1.
3 shots, needing 5s. Got 1. I'm going to command reroll right now. I need to get another hit here. No, all right, just the 1 comes through. Strength 10.
Toughness 6.
3 comes through. So the wound comes through. AP -3. So...
Saved.
Oh, he's just rolled a 6.
For the Emperor!
Oh,
For the regiment!
Right, I don't think I can destroy it now. Think carefully. We could. The next unit to fight is the Exocrine. We'll fire the Exocrine into it as well. I'm going to try and slow it down. So we didn't move. It's forced to hit -1. 5s. Ah, just the 1 here. No wound comes through. We'll leave it at that. We'll save our command points. So Tyranids attempting to try and crack open the transport here. I haven't tried to break this one open. We'll just swarm it in close combat. Anyway, so I think that's firepower done across the board here for the Nids. So we'll go on to assaults next. Yes, we do have an assault here, right up the road. The Gene Stealers will charge. And Broodlords potentially as well. There is big trouble. We'll declare charges further ahead as well. And then we'll check across the rest of the battlefield. Yeah, Hive Crones available to assault as well. Charges and Overwatch next. Okay, so assaults and Overwatch has taken place. Just to mention here at this stage, we have an Instagram account, Striking Scorpion 82. Loads of pictures and updates on there. I've taken lots of pictures of this game and other games. It's a great way of being informed of new releases and what's coming fresh off the painting desk as well. So check out Striking Scorpion 82 on Instagram and follow the channel on there as well. And then also just to mention Patreon here as well. We're playing at SSWG War Games Club. Some of the terrain that we're using here, see this highway that we're using in this game, that's club terrain that's been made by them. So we have set up a Patreon page for them. It's Striking Scorpion 82 on Patreon, and the proceeds there support a great local War Games Club. There's gold level. There's 2 currently at that level at the moment. There's Marcus Anthony and Paul Cook, so big thanks to them. And if you check out the end credits as well, you'll see all the silver level supporters, and also big thanks to all of those supporting at bronze level as well. So assaults have taken place here. 3 Broodlords have charged into the back end of this Chimera, and then Gene Stealers here. We declared against this one and this one. 1 wound came through, past the 5+ invuln save. We made contact with this Chimera here as well. We're going to try and shred that one. Also, I think the contents here will work it out, but I think they're going to be in trouble because they're going to struggle to find somewhere to disembark to. So that unit may well be destroyed. And then around the other side, 3 assaults have actually taken place. The Winged Hive Tyrant rolled well, has made it into combat against the guard. And then here, Kel has been charged here by the Hive Crone, along with the command squad, and also the plasma team and autocannon team has charged in also. No damage from Overwatch there, but the Hive Crone on the right-hand side has taken 2 wounds. That's charges and Overwatch complete here. We'll go on to combat resolution next. What? Creed's going in.
And the captain.
And the captain. Right, okay. May as well take advantage of it. Okay, Creed's waded into combat here. Platoon commanders going in. They're all piling in here against the Hive Crone. All right, we'll resolve these combats then. All right, so combat's resolved. On this side of the table here. So we attacked first with multiple Broodlords and easily destroyed this tank. It didn't detonate, but James had nowhere to place his squad at all. Genocides were back here, completely surrounded. You have to place the unit before the model's removed from play. Had nowhere to go, so unit destroyed. Veterans dealt with very harshly there by the Tyranids. One of the Broodlords here in defiant celebration here of the carnage taking place, and the Gene Stealers here. I didn't quite crack open the transport, so I played stratagem to fight again, and they have destroyed that transport. James rolled multiple ones here, so 4 ones. 6 of the veterans are disembarked. The others are in amongst the wreck here, being slaughtered by the Gene Stealers. And again, they've surged up 3 inches. So Gene Stealers, starting from here, have made it all the way across the table and almost reached the Imperial lines. Frightening stuff from them. A large unit of 20 strong still remains in play here. They have made contact with this other Chimera on a piling move, so that'll prevent that from shooting next turn as well. So it's a success story here on this side. Gene Stealers surging ahead, and Tyranids on the rampage already. We'll go around the other side. James has paid command points here to interrupt play. Who's going to fight?
Colour Sergeant Kel.
Colour Sergeant Kel is going to fight against the Hive Crones. Here come the attacks.
Forced to hit because it's a power fist. All hit.
Oh.
Strength 6.
Yes.
AP minus 3. D3 damage.
Forced to wound.
3's to wound.
Yeah, we're toughness 6, so 4 wounds. 2 wounds come through. AP minus?
3.
Oh, 4 up save, so you're straight through.
2d3 damage.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do.
6 damage. Colour Sergeant Kel, unbelievable. So I've already lost 2, so I'm down to 4 wounds left.
Correct. Takes down a bracket.
Takes down a bracket as well, so he's going to save the day here for these guard models on top of this bunker. Okay, good play from Colour Sergeant Kel. What a hero here, taking on the Hive Crone in close combat. We'll press on here now with the rest of our charging models. So if you want to know how Kel died...
No, it's in the law, Abaddon.
Abaddon?
His neck.
All right, so if we don't want to change 40k history here,
No.
do you need to survive? I'm going to put all my attacks into there anyway. So, I can reroll ones. This is the Scything Wings. We get 2 hits. 2's to wound him. I'm going to command reroll that. Yep. So that's AP minus 1 or 2 here. I think Kel's in trouble. Yeah, 6.
Carapace on.
6 up save here. Come on, Kel, stay alive.
For the 8th. No.
No, 2d3 damage. How many wounds does he have?
4. He's alive.
Okay. I'm going to do one more final attack here. So he's taken 3 wounds. He's barely alive. I'm going to try and use a Wicked Spur, which misses. Immediate command reroll. Hits. 2's to wound. Strength 8. Command reroll. It does wound.
You spent how many command points?
Lots. 3 here so far in this turn. Trying to kill Kel. Okay, and then go for...
AP minus...
It's AP minus 3, I think. It's AP minus 3. D3 damage. Just the 1 wound we needed and 1 wound we get. 4 wounds taken. James looking to see... You got a medic nearby? That's the medic. Can he help?
No, it's only for my turn.
A wounded model.
Unit, yeah.
No, Kel's gone. In Apocalypse, you could do multiple stratagems on the same phase and just burning through command points. So we are spending them quite quickly here, but just trying to make an early impact. But yeah, Kel, he's not slain. I don't want to mess up the lore here. He's just been knocked off the top of the bunk here, severely wounded, and he will take no further part in this game. So the banner is gone. Creed is on his own. Creed can fight in a moment. Got some combats to resolve just here with the other Hive Crone and the Winged Hive Tyrant. So the Hive Crone here, these Scything Wings, looking for 4s to hit. I can reroll 1, so just the 1. 1 wound comes through. So James, there's no save here. D3 damage. Just the 1 wound. Again, I'm going to command reroll that. A 3+ will take out one of the bases here. Yeah, so all the wounds are absorbed on one of the bases. So that's one of the autocannons destroyed. And the Wicked Spur here, 4+. Going to command reroll this one. And missed this time, so the Wicked Spur does no damage. But one autocannon base can be removed. Just trying to use up these early rerolls here because I know these Hive Crones will probably not last too long when it comes round to James's turn. So just trying to make as much impact as possible. Winged Hive Tyrant next. Okay, Winged Hive Tyrant. 2s to hit. 2s to kill. Oh, 3. Oh, come on, reroll these 2. We're burning through points here. It's just guardsmen. No, we'll leave it at that. We'll be happy enough just to mince up 3 of them so they can be removed. And then James can pile in and fight back. So resolve James's return here. He's fighting back with both of these units. Okay, so the rest of the combat's resolved around here. Another wound caused against the Hive Crone. That was a wound being caused by one of the regular guardsmen from the command squad. No other damage anywhere else. We've since resolved morale as well. James has lost 2 guardsmen from here. A stratagem used D3 instead of D6 for the dice roll. Just 1 guardsman lost from that squad. And then passed morale, no problem, with the squad just here. So morale resolved. Much of the Imperial line is still intact. So I don't think there'll be too much of a panic here. Tyranids are focused in on the armoured column here, causing trouble. 2 chimeras destroyed, unit of veterans consumed, but crucially they haven't reached the command party here. So James, you can see the route here. Just disembark, park up, get up these steps as quick as possible, hold the Tyranids back, and get out of trouble as soon as possible. Turn 1 finished for the Tyranids. Quite eventful so far, and epic in scale to see a 2-pronged Tyranid attack on both sides of the table. The guard now will make their stand. Will go on to their second turn as they seek to resist the Tyranid onslaught. we're on turn 2 here for the Astra Militarum. You can see here the Tyranids beginning to break through at this tip here. So James needs to react to them, and then sort of an equal advance across this side. He needs to drive them back here and try and hold the line across the other side as well. We'll see if the Valkyrie arrives first of all. So James can roll a 5+. Yeah, he's rolled a 5. He's arrived a little bit early here. So a chance for the Tyranids to try and blow it out of the sky. I'm not sure if his advisor can make it all the way to the top. 3 inches move in advance. Yeah, well, maybe. We'll see. A possible pick up here at this early stage. We'll have to figure that out. It's going to be close for sure. And then the possibility now of other units arriving from reserve. So we'll get these reserves rolled up for as well. So we are going to break this down. All of this armor column will arrive on the same road, whichever road that is. We are going to break it down to separate dice rolls of him on his own, them onto that along there, and then the Hellhounds separately as well. So Hellhounds first of all, 3+ to bring them on. They do. Okay, so they will arrive. Just keep that result there.
They are in squadrons, by the way.
That's fine. Yeah, Armored Sentinels, 3+. They'll arrive. Okay, just mark them up with a pass, and then here.
Commander. He's on.
He's going to turn up as well. Now, will any of his tanks arrive is the question. So the first squadron.
Demo tanks.
Nope. This is not rerollable here. The next lot. Nope. Oh dear. And surely one squadron will arrive. 4. That's okay. That's a 4.
That's fine.
Okay. But that staggers the movement. That's nice because not all turning up here on this road. It's going to get a bit crammed. Just going to get a chance to arrive here with these Hellhounds and those, and then we'll randomise the side as well. Hellhounds will arrive at one end, and then the Armoured Fists will arrive at the other. Okay, but half of James's tanks arrive on the board as support here on turn 2. So we'll let the Astra Militarum make their moves. There's no cause for panic yet. Tyranids causing trouble here and there, but it's not too much trouble here at this stage. And I think James has the firepower to really hurt the Tyranids this turn. We'll go on to movement now for the Astra Militarum. Right, so movement done here for the Astra Militarum on turn 2. Multiple reinforcements arriving. You can see the Hellhounds have turned up on this end. So that's all the tanks that are going to arrive here. The other armoured units will be arriving at the other end of the highway. James has gone 12 inches out of combat with this Chimera. He's pulled back with the veterans as well. He's leaving these units here just to hold the line as best as they can. The command Chimera has gone up, not up, it's gone underneath the Sky Shield landing pad here, still with all of the models inside, just protecting them for now. And then the Valkyrie flying on from that end has flown across here, 45 inches, landing nicely on top of the landing pad. So it's in normal flight mode at the moment. It's not ready for picking up passengers. Next turn it can go into hover mode, and then James can start embarking the characters. So we reckon James can do a disembarkation, then climb up through the hatches here, embark inside this, and then James can fly off. So it looks like this is going to be possible here in this game, if it all if it all goes well. It's going to be.
Mission comes first, sir.
It's going to be close, but pilot moving in. This is well worked out here for the Astra Militarum, turning up in good time here actually with the Valkyrie Vendetta. That's only part of the mission though. There's multiple objectives to defend as well. Ogrins have remained where they are. Artillery has remained where it is. James has restored a total of 3 wounds here. That was the Tech Priest here moving through, making advance movement and repair. Jury rigging also used for a total of 3 wounds restored in total. Hellhounds have arrived here. Infantry squads holding, pulling back. They haven't manned the Aegis defence line. They've continued to pull back here. I think a wise decision as the Tyranids surge ahead. The guard squad that was here falling back deeper into the bastion as well. This squad that was down here has gone back up into the bunker, disembarking from close combat with these. Those the special weapons team as well. These are pulled out of close combat. The autocannon teams as well. I reckon James should be able to blow these monstrous creatures away out of the sky, no problem at all. Kel is dead, but he's seriously wounded. He's been dragged away here by Creed, who reckons he might be able to make it to the transport here, potentially. Says you can just see him, he's just tucked in there, and he's potentially going to try and do a runner to get onto the transport. That's not the orders here. He's meant to be staying with the Imperial Regiment, but James wants to try and pull him out of trouble if he can. So Medic tried to resurrect here and failed.
Autocannon it was.
The autocannon team, gotcha. And then jury rigging here, back up to 9 wounds in total. Psycho's not moved this time. He's happy where he is. And then round here, reinforcements arriving. The line's held position here. And then the squadron here. The command tank here, armoured sentinels here. So look at this firepower. A counter sandwich here from the Astra Militarum. Look at these guns ready to lay down some heavy firepower into the advancing Tyranids. Yeah, James will be up for this here. Nothing more satisfying than blasting Tyranid monstrous creatures to pieces with Imperial firepower. That's the movement done. Fighting erupts all across both sides of the table here. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next. Alright, Psychic Phase complete. Night Shroud again cast onto the Bane Blade. But here, Psychic Barrier, we blocked it with the Winged Hive Tyrant rolled. Used a command reroll to beat James's 7. We rolled a 10 in total after the reroll, so that power's been blocked. James doesn't get the bonus to his cover save. Or armour save, yeah, from cover. Is it counts as cover? It's a Psychic Barrier. Okay. Psychic Phase complete. Shooting Phase next. Okay, so we started shooting phase here. Astra Militarum commanders issuing orders all across the board here. Not going to cover all of them here, but James has applied them all across the table here. Loads of orders being issued as the guard prepare to fire against the Tyranids. We'll start the firing off here. We'll capture some of the big guns here, but we'll resolve shooting on this side. See how many of the units can be depleted. Yeah, fire this one then.
Plasma Obliterator.
Yes.
Fire at the...
Surely not all the way across here. So you're going to go here.
Yeah.
Okay, so going to fire at the Turvigon.
2d6 shots.
Hive Fleet, by the way, is Behemoth. Re-rolling charges, just to inform you of that.
So it's 10 shots.
Wow. This is one of the automated defence systems here.
There's men manning it.
Yes.
It means that I can choose a target at the restriction of nearest enemy unit.
Oh, right, great. Okay. Well, that's worth putting them inside then. Great. What ballistic skill are you going to fire at?
It's always 5+.
Always 5+.
To choose.
Sure. That's good. Good rules. So 10 shots, and James will need 5s to hit here.
Any roll of a 1 is always a mortal wound, though. It
Okay.
always counts as supercharging.
So no mortal wounds, and he's actually got a load of hits here. Loads of hits.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
His strength 8, AP -3, 2 damage.
3s to wound. 3 come through. 6s to try and save. None.
6 damage.
6 damage on the Turvigon here. That's good shooting. This beast is half slain. Tough enough actually. Toughness 8, but it's not affected the damage coming through. And 14 wounds instead of 12. It's down to 8 left here on this Turvigon. It's a tough enough beast, but some decent damage coming through from that automated system. We'll press some of the firepower here as the guard try and resist the Tyranid tide sweeping through in this direction. Okay, so part the way through the shooting here as the guard try and hold the Tyranids back. It's good firepower here. Some of these squads firing with first rank fire, second rank fire. The heavy bolters, the order they had was take aim, getting to reroll hits. We fired these automated systems. They have to fire at the closest targets. That's the las cannons, auto cannons firing here as well. These squads, a couple of heavy bolters coming from these vehicles. Also, we have reduced, or James has reduced, this squad here by 1, and the gaunts here on the right, 14 of them brought down so far, 19 brought down with firepower coming from, mostly from the bunker here. So, and also your mortar. Storm Shard mortar firing through, causing a lot of damage as well. Snipers, 3 6s rolled up and a save failed, so more wounds coming through against the Hive Tyrant. 4 wounds left on him, so he's in serious trouble. Good firepower coming from the guard. But look at this gap. James is holding them back here. This is good for the Astra Militarum, and the lead unit is taking a hammering. 19 wounds taken, 2/3 of that unit almost wiped out so far. And then across here, Hive Crone's taken a wound, down to 5 wounds with this one, and the Winged Hive Tyrant down to 11, and then damage coming through here. Right. Yes, 5 casualties here as well. That's firepower coming from the
Bastion.
The Bastions firing. Okay, yes, with their 5+ to hit heavy bolters. So we haven't completed all the firepower here. That's about half of it so far, but James causing plenty of casualties at this stage. I think the key is to try and bring down these flyers here and the Winged Hive Tyrant if he can, but he's holding back the Tyranid swarm on this side of the battlefield quite well. Okay, shooting resolved on this side. A few more casualties here. Total of 17. One casualty there. 19 in the middle. No further casualties coming through. Then a total of 9 casualties here. That's firepower coming through from here. Remember, the heavy bolted teams are inside this emplacement here. Yeah, the Hive Crones are gone. They were brought down by James's firepower. His las cannon team, James committed them to fire across, helping to pick up some wounds. We've fired the automated autocannons here. No damage from that one. The las cannons have all fired, automated systems, most of them missing. Icarus las cannons, most of them missing their target. The Valkyrie Vendetta fired as well and did no damage here against the Vaigon. Just here. James isn't going to fire the basilisks in this direction. They're actually going to fire across, try and take out Carnifexes. That shooting done on this flank here. Pretty good. Hive Crone's gone. Casualties being caused. The line will hold here. No problem at all. We'll see what kind of damage James can do on the other flank. Okay. A bit of las cannon firepower here. It's going to go into the Toxicrane. Needs 5s because James has moved.
2 hits.
5 and 6. Nice. 3's to wound.
2 wounds.
-3. Going to save a 6 up. Oh, we saved 1, and it's d6 damage. 4. Nice. Okay, so that knocks us down to 7 wounds left. Don't expect this thing to last very long here in this fight. Okay, but it's done well to get that far ahead on the board. More firepower to come. Okay, so firepower erupting here. Exocrine down to 5. There's 2 more wounds coming through from the conscripts. 7. Gene Stealer's brought down. That's both these bastions. They're able to fight whichever target is in range. James can choose because it's manned here by squads inside. Still 5s to hit though, but the 2 of those combining together, all those heavy bolter shots, has brought down 7 of the Gene Stealers just here. Loads of firepower still to go. We'll press on here. James is going to fire this unit of missile launchers. The las guns have already been fired down here at the Gene Stealers. No damage. Here they come. 4 shots, or 3 shots in 4s.
Yep.
4 hit. This is good. 3's to wound. 1 wound comes through. No command rerolls. 5 up save. No. D6 damage.
1.
Just the 1.
Command reroll.
Command reroll. 5 or more will take the beast out. No, 3. Down to 2 wounds left on the Exocrine. Or Toxicrane. It's in serious trouble. Okay, James will now fire these 3 las cannons into the winged hive turret. Needing 4s. No, 2 2s and a 3. Missed that time. All right. So casualties come through here. James, that was from?
That was from the battle cannon.
Battle cannon on one of the Liam Russes firing through. Okay, so we'll press on here. Keep going. Okay, more firepower coming in. Squads here firing through. These have fired as well, reducing loads of hits coming through against the winged hive turret. Smothered in flames here, down to 5 wounds left. Gene Stealers have taken 16 casualties in total now, most of the firepower being directed against them. James still has the big guns to fire. Toxicrane, 2 Russes still to fire as well. Toxicrane down to 2 wounds left now, firepower being directed against that as well. So James is just trying to blunt this Tyranid assault, especially the Gene Stealers. They've moved up far up the board, but now only 4 of them left from that unit, so still plenty of heavy firepower to go. Looking quite healthy here for the Astra Militarum. Okay, so we're going to fire Lehman Russ here. So las cannon heavy bolters going to try and finish off him, and the main turret battle cannon going to fire into one of the Carnifexes.
5 shots.
Yes, because you moved at 5 inches.
5.
Gotcha. Okay.
4s.
Just firing against the Carnifex here. Strength 8, toughness 7, 3s to wound.
2 wounds.
So 2 wounds come through. AP -2. So a 5 up save. Save 1, so it'll be D3 damage, which is 2. Alright, it's down to 6 wounds left. That's the end Carnifex here. Not really affecting these at this stage. They are slower, so James can save his firepower for them for another turn. A laser cannon shot to try and finish off this Toxicrane.
5s. Missed.
No, and some heavy bolter shots as well. 6 shots with them.
5s.
There's enough there if you get the wounds. No, 0. Okay, so we'll move on to the next tank here. We're just giving you a display of firepower here from these Lehman Russ tanks. So he's going to declare this one, everything into the Toxicrane. Needs to get rid of it. So heavy bolters needing 5s. And 5s again.
1 wound.
There's 1 wound.
1.
So we'll take a save of 4+, which we pass. It's down to a las cannon shot. Might be able to do it. Misses. And the battle cannon. Again, he's moved under 5 here. So 2d6 shots.
6 shots.
Needing 4s.
4s.
Okay, that's good. So 3s to wound.
All wounded.
God.
-2.
Good dice rolling. I think this is the end of the Toxicrene. Yes. 2 saves, 2 fails. So Toxicrene gone.
That's the damage.
That's the damage. Excellent. And we'll see if we explode. No, it's a 4. Okay, so you're safe. Those tendrils could have gone all over the place, but the walking spaghetti monster is no more. Okay, so I've turned these around because this is the direction they're firing. It's not going to make any impact here, which way the models are facing, but just the cinematics of it here. The guns are being levelled against this Tyranid Advance, which looks stronger. There's nastier firepower here for the Nids, and a whole load of monstrous creatures for the Guard to try and destroy. And really, you've not taken out many of them so far. Did we cover the Exocrine is gone? It was destroyed by, what blew that away? 12 wounds. It was the Commander's battle cannon, the Relic battle cannon. Yeah, the 3 damage a time, without a load of saves, and 12 damage exactly came through. So the Exocrine is no more. Superb shooting there from the tank commander. Yeah, excellent relic. He's just tucked over there. Okay, so Basilisk. James has used a command point here to fire twice. He's going after this Carnifex just here with its shooting.
It's range 240.
Okay.
2d6 shots. I reroll the ordnance as an Earthshaker cannon. So I'm going to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 shots, because it's d6 shots.
Yep, 7 shots coming in.
I'm not going to spend the stratagem to do 2 stratagem command points to do +1 ballistic skill. It's quite potent weapon. So just forced to hit. Rerolling 1s because I stood still.
Yep, it's just Cadia.
Cadia doctrine. They both missed. It's strength
9, 3s to wound.
3.
Oh, you're going to kill this thing here. That's a cocked dice. You can reroll that one, no problem. 6 is to try and block. Block 1. 2d3 damage. You will survive. Double 1. Just 2 wounds caused. So it's 2 command points actually.
Yep.
To get the fire again, it's just 1d6.
I'll keep that.
5. And that's really good, yeah. 4s for hits.
All but 1.
Absolutely fantastic. 3s to wound. 2 wounds come through. AP minus 3. 6s to block. We block 1. We will survive here. D3. 2 more wounds. Only half slain this kind of effects here. These are useful, these ones. They have the shooting ability. Ballistic skill 3+. They're pretty good. But now we're on to the next one. So this one's fired. It's the second one now firing in. Same target.
Yep.
Okay, here it comes.
2. I'm going to reroll the ordnance because it's an Earthshaker cannon.
Mm-hmm.
3. It's better than 2.
Yes.
4s.
Good shooting here.
Can I wound? That's better.
That is really good. Need some 6s. No.
3d3 damage.
You're bound to destroy it.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So Carnifex gone. No, that's okay. Fine. So he actually has fired all 3 of these.
Yeah,
He did 2d6 shots here.
1d6.
1d6. 1d6 done. Okay. So all 3 of those take out 1 Carnifex. That's tough game. We made some 6-up saves though. You've got the Manticore Steel to fire, just to cover what's left. Manticore Steel to fire, the Bane Sword and the Bane Blade still all available to shoot. So definitely opportunity here to put some more units out of action here for the Tyranids. So Manticore is going to fire. It's going to fire at the next Carnifex here with the long range weaponry, complete with sound effects.
Soul Strike rockets. So that's 2d6 shots.
7 shots.
7 shots. Needing 4s. Rerolling 1s because.
Oh, wow. This is good. Really, really good.
Strength 10.
3s to wound.
AP minus 2.
So 5 pluses. Got a bad feeling we'll be in trouble here. We've saved 2.
3d3 damage.
3d3 damage. Chance to take this thing out.
Dead.
Got it, exactly. 6, 7, 8. Done it. Another Carnifex gun. Good shooting for the Manticore. One Manticore took out Carnifex that took 3 Basilisks to destroy the other. So impressive stuff. And 1 rocket can be used up. James just marking that.
That's
there.
4 rounds.
4 rounds, okay. So 3 left. Great. Good shooting for the Manticore. Great firepower support here. Great to see the artillery supporting the front line in its defence. Yeah, I thought you'd go for that. So the main gun is going to go into the Tyranids. James does have line of sight. It's just across there. Heavy bolters are going to try and finish off the Gene Stealers, and then 2 laser cannon shots into the Winged Hive Turret. So 2 laser cannon shots, see if you can pick him off.
So,
Force
to hit. 1 hit. Strength 9.
3's to wound. No, okay. We'll do the heavy bolters in just a moment. And then the main gun. So what is it?
2d6.
Okay, here it comes.
Now, that'd be nice.
Oh no, 11 shots. That's a shame. I really wanted to keep the Tyranids alive. Great firepower available from that thing. But James knows his target priorities here. He's going to try and take out the Tyranids here in 1 shot.
Force to hit, Lumbering Behemoth, but I don't get the real ones because it's an auxiliary super.
Sure. Yes, guard don't get that.
3 of them, it would get the doctrine. So 4s. What's your toughness?
Toughness 8.
Not quite double toughness, strength 14.
Oh, God.
3's to wound.
3's to wound.
I'm going to spend a command point.
Try and get the other one. Sure.
Yes, AP -4, minimum 3 damage, D6 damage.
Okay. 6s. Oh, we block 1. 3d6 damage.
Dead.
No. Because that's 13 wounds. So we got 1 wound left.
I'm going to re-roll the 4.
Right, he really wants to get rid of it. Okay, so I reckon you'll get less. I knew he'd roll less. Okay, so that's a total of 11 wounds. 3 wounds left. The Tyranids is in trouble here. But James will have to use something else if he wants to finish it off. Alright, so Baneblade's going to fire here. So what are you firing first?
2 laser cannons into that one.
Into the... over there. Okay, she's going after a Carnifex here.
2 hits.
Oh, good shooting. 5 and a 6. 3's to wound.
100.
Surely a command reroll, that's what I would do.
No.
Oh, right, okay. He's not spending us. I would have spent it. With fails, it's d6 damage. 5. If you had got the wound, you could have taken it out, you see.
Reroll would have been a 5. Your armor save would have been a...
James is rolling here, just a hindsight roll up. The damage would have been 2. Okay, it's alright. So 3 wounds left on that Carnifex. It's in trouble, but it's still alive. He's got to fight Demolisher Cannon. The only target in range, well, you can hit these HQs, but that last Gene Stealer is blocking that. So James is just going to lob a shell into the last Gene Stealer to blast it to pieces.
D3 shots because it's less than 5 models. So it's a cock die.
Cock dice, that's alright.
Just 1 shot.
1 shot. Oh, please.
Forced to hit.
It's missed. Okay. So what have we got left here? Auto cannon shots. James has declared it's going to go into him. Trying to pick off this Carnifex here.
1 hit. Strength 7, toughness 7.
Balls to wound.
That's a fail.
Failure. Okay. She's got heavy bolters to go into there as well. The main Baneblade cannon, James can fire that. It's going to go into Tyranids to try and finish it off. It's taken a fair bit of effort to remove that beast.
3d6 shots. So that's
Wow.
13.
13 shots, 2 6s and a 1. So forced to hit here, 13 shots. And then you'll be needing... Well, what strength are you? We're toughness 8.
9.
Whoa, 3's to wound. And the AP minus?
3.
AP minus 3. So we need 5s to save any wounds that come through. 3s or more.
Oh dear.
There's 6. We are in huge trouble. This beast can't survive. We'll just roll 6 dice here. Oh, we blocked 3.
That's 12 damage.
12 damage, right? Okay. So, okay, it's a good gun there, the Baneblade cannon.
Does it explode?
Yes, we'll see if we lash out in pain. We do not. Okay, so Tyranids destroyed. So 18 shots here. This is the heavy bolters going into the Carnifex. I think pretty much this is the last shooting here for the Astra Militarum. The Tyranid casualties haven't been too bad. There's still a lot of our force left here, so I'm quite surprised we've managed to keep so many units alive.
2 saves.
Just the 2 wounds. AP minus 1. Yeah. We found both, so we're knocked down to 3 wounds here, but not killed. So this Carnifex defiantly remains alive. Yeah, I think everything's complete. Yeah, all the infantry's fired. So, yes, so all complete. So, shooting phase finished. Do you have any assaults? I doubt it. There's no ongoing combats here. So it doesn't look like any charges at all. So we're going to end the turn here for the Astra Militarum. They're still looking strong. They haven't caused as much damage as we thought they would. The Tyranids still have loads of Carnifex is still on the board here. But James has made some key target priorities. Exocrine's gone, Tyrannifex gone. That would have been decent firepower that would have been available to the Tyranids, but James has reduced them down. James, I think what he's doing is trying to reduce the Tyranid firepower to try and preserve the Vendetta from being blown out of the sky. So good tactical play here. The Tyranids don't have much firepower left now, so hopefully the flyer will remain alive, be able to pick up the passengers and then fly off the table for James to pick up a total of 3 and 3. It'll be 6 points if you're able to do it. Tyranids need to try and make one final attempt here, perhaps, to try and stop this from taking place, but the extraction looks like it's going to go ahead. So Astra Militarum looking well organised here, well disciplined, good firepower. They're making a pretty effective defence on both sides. All is going well, but the game's barely started. Tyranid Deep Strikers are about to arrive. We're all up for them. It's 3+ for those as well, just to make things fair. Number of monsters can be recycled on a 5+, and the Gene Stealers will not come back if they pass morale, which they will. There's synapse there, so that one model will prevent a fresh unit of 20 from arriving. We'll total up casualties here to see if we can bring on any more units of Gaunts or Hormogaunts. But that's the end of the turn for the Astra Militarum. The battle in full swing. We'll now let the Tyranids make their moves here. Turn 2 coming up next for them. Alright, so movement done for the Tyranids here on turn 2 for them. So the advance continues and been bolstered by some decent reinforcement rolls here as well. So around here, the Morlocks burst up, arriving on a 3+, and has put a mortal wound on the Commissar and the Priest. One of the Guardsmen slain in each of the squads there as well. Not too much damage coming through. We've moved up here with the Vaigon. These units all moving up. Advanced with this one, we've birthed 10 more. Advanced move, only a 1 rolled for those. A good advanced move made by the Hormogaunts just over there. Standard movement here, because some of them can shoot. Fresh units been brought on here, never-ending swarm. Tyranid Warriors on the move. The ones with the Rending Claws and Siren Talons have made an advanced move. These advanced here, and these have advanced. Also starting to cross the barricades now, pushing in deeper. A fresh Hive Crone has arrived on a 5+. Yeah, Winged Hive Tyrant moved across.
11 wounds.
11 wounds. Right, there's its wounds. Great, okay, that's fine. Just put the wounds there for the Winged Hive Tyrant. Then just to cover around this side as well, some latecomers here, but 2 Lictors have turned up there on that flank as well, so 9 inches away from enemy models. Then around this side, the Toxicrene has returned, and I've played Metabolic Overdrive again. It's made it to here. So a fresh one of these beasts has arrived, didn't take a mortal wound. 2 Lictors have turned up also. The Carnifexes continue to advance. They haven't advanced actually. The only one that has advanced is that one. The others have all gone 7. Advanced though with Old One Eyes buried in amongst the Carnifexes just there. Rippers have turned up as well on this flank. 2 Broodlords, advanced moves made by them. Very swift movement across the board. The Lone Gene Stealer chasing almost instinctively the back end of the Chimera. Another Broodlord there you can see across the other side going after the infantry. Raveners have turned up. Then the 2 Neurophropes have made advanced moves as well. And we'll just go around the other side to cover the movement for the other Tyranid forces. Just going around here. We have the Winged Hive Tyrant moving across 7 wounds. I restored some wounds there with rapid regeneration, stratagem being used. Carnifex's advanced moves made by them. Very good rolls being made, so they have moved up very far up the table here, so good manoeuvring from them. There is a Broodlord just behind them that's advanced as well. And then managed to return the 2 slain Carnifexes to play as well. So these 2 have come on 7 to shoot. The Venom Ropes have moved up. The other one's just here, it's moved 7, so available to fire as well. Trigon has arrived with 20 Gene Stealers just here, just over 9 inches away. And the Exocrine rolled a 5+ for that as well. It has returned to play. Just representing this never-ending swarm, this constant attack from the Tyranids. You can imagine it, a red tide, perhaps miles deep, stretching back. So the Guard just have to keep fighting them back and survive as best as they can. So race against time here. But Guard holding well so far. But it'll be a test for them here on this Tyranid second turn. So movement done here for the Tyranids. It's quite a sight to see all of them swarming forwards, and still plenty of monstrous creatures present on the table. Other Apocalypse games we've done, the monstrous creatures die and then you never see them again. That's not really realistic. You would have a constant stream of these monstrosities moving across the board. Disadvantage is that they have to keep going back. The idea is to keep pushing them back. The Astra Militarum will prevail. Not too much of a dent here in the Imperial forces so far. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Tyranids here on turn 2. Alright, Psychic Phase complete here. So, it's been pretty good. Multiple smites come through. 5 guardsmen brought down over there. The Horror was cast and James didn't block it. It's been put onto the Baneblade, so -1 to all the hit rolls for him. Catalyst has been put onto this Trigon. And then around here we played Smite and then Psychic Scream, a total of 4 mortal wounds. The Commander was the closest model and he has been removed from play. So James has lost, what level is he? Company Commander?
Yeah, just a company.
Oh, right, okay, so he's gone.
He's a Lieutenant Colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel, okay. So, other smites cast, so smites need 10s, so none of those went off. Psychic Phase complete, not too bad. So, we'll go on to Shooting Phase next, the Tyranids here on turn 2. Yeah, it's interesting. We were trying to measure up ranges here. I've got range 36 for these Carnifexes. They fall short of the Valkyrie. James is going to be safe here. Just look around to see what else we have. Wish the Tyrannifex had turned up. That firepower could have caused trouble, but it hasn't arrived. So really, the Valkyrie's going to survive and it will pick up the passengers. So this is good.
Creed.
And
Creed.
where is Creed?
Well, he's just there.
Oh, he's there.
He ordered himself to get to there. He's going to hop into there on his movement phase.
Great. All right. Looks like Creed's going to make a quick escape here. And you can imagine Kel. He's got Kel. He's holding Kel across his shoulder here and dragging him to safety as well. So good to see the top brass saving themselves here and leaving everyone else to fight against the Tyranids. Okay, we'll press on with shooting here, but it looks like the Valkyrie's going to survive. So, yeah, we're just discussing the game here and the way it could go. If James does make the extraction here, it will be 6 points he'll pick up here. The Tyranids have failed to crack open that transport and pick off those models. And the early arrival of the Valkyrie really means that James should be able to pick up the points. If he does pick up 6 points, it means the game's still on, but the Tyranids will need to make a serious breakthrough here. We reckon they will need to capture 4 of the objectives to get a draw, and then 5 to try and win the game. So it's a serious break-in needs to take place in this game. Pressure on them, and a great incentive then for the Guard to hold the line and keep the Tyranids back, and they can see themselves through to a great victory. That's the way the game is shaping up. But plenty of monstrous creatures, and good advances being made by the Tyranids so far. So I reckon we're going to shift emphasis here away from hunting down these characters. I think they're going to escape to safety. Instead, we're just going to kill anything that moves and crack open any vehicle we find. Try and kill as many guardsmen as possible is the aim now for the Tyranids. Right, so we're firing 3 Carnifexes here. I've combined their firepower and we're going after the Baneblade just over there. So range 36, nicely arranged. This is the amount of shots already rolled up. Need 4s because of the -1 to the hit rolls. So we've got ourselves this. 3 to win, strength 9. Oh, please, I'm going to command reroll this one. Yeah, 2 come through. -2s. James gets a 5-up save. If not, it will be 6 damage. He doesn't. Down to 20. Not too bad then. That's Carnifex firepower come through, reducing the Baneblade down. So a lot of firepower's taken place here. We've seen the firepower coming from them putting wounds onto the Baneblade. We've since fired the Raveners across. 27 heavy bolter type shots coming through. Have wiped out the vet squad caught in the open. Then across the other side, the Screamer Killers fired and put 3 wounds on the lead Lehman Russ. And then down here, he's just fired and put 6 wounds onto the Bane Sword there. Good firepower from the Hive Tyrant. About to fire the Exocrine at the Bane Sword as well. So we've moved, so we need 4s. And then we need 5s to get wounds. There's 2 wounds coming through. Yeah, okay, James has just rolled there. He's rolled a 4 and a 1. And it's caused 4 more wounds here. So 13 wounds left on the Bane Sword. It is in the bracket now.
Yeah, it's half damage.
Oh boy, okay, bit of damage coming through here against this super heavy. Tech Priest is busy. He's got his spanners and toolkit out here, but it's a long...
If they would have a Tech Priest in amongst the Baneblade as well. But,
Sure. Okay, no, resources are stretched here in this game. But a bit of smoke starting to bellow from this super heavy here. It's perhaps unnerving the Guards slightly. If this thing dies, that's a lot of firepower that the Astra Militarum will lose. We'll press on with firepower, just looking around to see if there's any other heavy guns Not really. So it looks like the Super Heavy is going to escape. Again, wish we had the Tyranid effects on the table. That's the kind of unit that can cause horrific trouble. Still a bit more firepower. There's 2 Carnifexes over there with Stranglethorn cannons. They are available to shoot as well. Okay, so 2d6 shots here. Matt Hood's helping out with the Tyranids as well. So this is 2 Stranglethorn cannons. Matt's rolled 8 shots coming through here. He's going after the Baneblade. -1 to hit rolls.
Correct.
Right, 5 pluses for hits here. 4 hits come through.
6.
5's to end.
5 to wind.
Be 2 damage a time. 1 comes through.
8 minus 1.
Yeah, it's -1. Alright, so James can make a save of 4+. He'll probably get this one.
Yeah.
He does. Okay, right. So Stranglethorn Cannon's no effect there on the Super Heavy. I think that's pretty much firepower resolved on this side here for the Tyranids. They're going after the bigger monsters. Or not monsters, bigger tanks. Toxicrene can't fire. We played Metabolic Overdrive. It will prevent it from shooting. Just trying to gain ground across the table. So you've got basically a line of Tyranids charging up here and then a crazy spaghetti monster flying across the table as fast as it can, waving its tendrils around all over the place. Quite a distraction it will be, for sure, but it can't shoot this turn. Firepower on this side resolved. The Hive Mind electing to go after the heavier guns that the Astra Militarum have. Yeah, I think we're finished. We'll swap on to the other side now, see what kind of firepower the Tyranids can lay down on this side. Okay, shooting's resolved around this side. 1 guardsman slain here. There's a bit of Devourer firepower coming through. No damage here from Stinger salvos. 3 guardsmen slain here. That was firepower again coming from Devourers from the Gaunts. Then 1 guardsman slain in the smaller squad just inside the trench network there. Again, that's firepower from the Devourers. Flesh Borers, sorry. Devourers firing here from the Tyranid Warriors. Brought down a guardsman. That was that guardsman there that died. Then Tentaclids firing down to 8 wounds here now on the Hydra. It's caused 1 mortal wound, okay. Devourers and Brain Leech Worms casualties here and helped to remove the autocannon team. They've now been eradicated. The best shot though, Stranglethorn cannon coming through here, firing 36-inch range, firing all the way across, hitting the missile team. 3 wounds being caused, 3 failures to save, and the whole squad has been wiped out there. Nasty blow there coming through. The wisdom of the Hive Mind here from the Hive Tyrant there. He has been restored, by the way, to 7 wounds. We use a stratagem, rapid regeneration, to bring him back to 7 wounds in total. So Tyranids firepower is okay. They're grinding the guard down. It's combat they need to get into to cause the most trouble. We'll see if that's possible here. Multiple charges available. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next for the Tyranids here on turn 2. Alright, so charges taking place here. 2 lictors have made it into close combat. The first one here has taken a wound. Then we'll cover this end first of all. Hormagaunts have made it in. Taken 3 casualties on Overwatch, but contact has been made there at the foot of the bastion. Then the Hive Tyrants charged in against the command squad. The Hive Crone has charged in simultaneously against this squad, and also the specialist team just here with the plasma guns. Then around this side here, multiple attempts at making charges. One of the lictors was brought down by Liam Russ, and the other one's just got 1 wound left, so we failed to make contact here. Toxicrene couldn't charge. Rippers, sneaky little gits, have swung around here and have made contact, taking 4 wounds, 1 base gone, 1 wound taken here against this rush. Just trying to silence as many tanks as possible. Broodlord, 6/6 charge there, has moved around, swung around behind the guardsman inside of the trench network. One of the Carnifex is 6/6 or 6/6 rolled for a charge there, and that's come hurtling in because that one didn't advance, only moved 7 this turn, so that's made contact. Others attempted charges but failed. They were slowed down by the crater. Then the Raveners over there didn't make it in. Again, the crater slowing them down. We've taken 2 wounds here with the Winged Hive Tyrant have charged this Chimera. Broodlord here made it into close combat. The other Broodlord charged against the Baneblade and paid the ultimate price. It was blasted to pieces and brought down. And that is about it. We charged, no, it was disaster down here actually. Tried to charge, took a wound and failed to make it in. Took 2 casualties here with the Gene Stealers, failed to make it in. Took a wound here as well, failed to make it in with the Trigons. So the Hellhounds still in pretty good shape. Tyranids not getting these assaults, despite being Hive Fleet Behemoth with rerolls to charge. We've failed to make it in here with multiple charges, but still the monsters press on this flank, and the main tide continues to push ahead, has reached the main battle line and looks set to move deeper into Imperial line. So that's charges and Overwatch done. We'll get these combats resolved here to finish off this turn for the Tyranids on turn 2. Alright, so combat's resolved across the board here. 4 guardsmen hacked down by the Broodlord, no damage done in return. Then across here we completely failed to wound here with the Winged Hive Tyrant against the Hellhound across here. Then guardsmen being slain, 4 of them brought down by the Lictors. Then one of the Lictors took a wound, the priest helping out the guardsmen there with some extra attacks. Then around here, now 7 casualties in total in this unit. The guardsmen bayoneted 3 of them, and then we killed just 1 guardsman with our attacks coming through from the Hormagaunts. Then across here, 2 guardsmen slain by the Winged Hive Tyrant, 2 members of the plasma team slain as well. So there's just 1 you can see, and there's 1 more underneath the base there of the Hive Crone. Around here, no damage on either side here with this fight between these 2. And across here, yes, cleansed this area of Astra Militarum. All of the models slain there inside that sandbag emplacement, destroyed there by the Broodlord and the rampaging Carnifex. That's combats resolved, not too epic here, just a number of smaller combats breaking out across the table. Astra Militarum still keeping themselves at arm's length, mostly from the Tyranids here, and a turn in hand now to lay down another blanket of firepower against the advancing bugs here across both sides. So morale's been resolved here. Auto pass here for the Gene Stealers. 2 guardsmen have fled here, little wonder, with the Broodlord bearing down on top of them. And then round here, James has passed with all of his squads here on this side, no problem at all, including the what's left of the plasma team just up here. That is morale complete. So end of turn here, turn 2 for the Tyranids. We'll go on to the 3rd turn now for the Astra Militarum as they continue to try and repulse the Tyranid attack on both sides. Okay, so we're on turn 3 here for the Astra Militarum. Looking quite comfortable for him at this stage, just giving a zoomed out view of the fighting across the table. No real break-ins taking place here from the Tyranids. And if James has a good round of firepower and destroys a good number of these monsters, any units that come back on again will have to start back at the edge, or they'll have to deploy 18 inches away from Astra Militarum units, but not able to move any further than that. So quite effective here on both sides. I think the wisdom in pulling the line back here has kept a lot of the guardsmen alive, and James using a lot of the heavy firepower guns here, rightly so, against the Tyranid monsters. Okay, so you can see the command party's disembarked from the Chimera and has moved up. They're awaiting the Valkyrie to descend down. So that
extraction is waiting.
Extraction is imminent now, so the Valkyrie can descend down and land on the Sky Shield landing pad. Okay, so we'll descend it down here. Mayday, 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 bank left, bank left. Oh!
Bank left.
Sorry.
Oh,
That's right, I can't land it. Matt Hood's going to do it here. So here it comes. Descending down and spinning around. That's the way to do it. Nice and sensible. Good. All right. So it's landed nice and safe. So now the command party can get on board. And then James is going to move Creed here as well. I think Creed. So he's going to go 3 plus 9. Okay. So Creed's going to get on board here as well. So he's gone. Yeah, so just for the purposes of the rules, we span it around here, because even in normal flight mode, James can pick these up. Creed's already inside. He's put his seatbelt on. And then now these guys are going to get in, and then you can just go normal flight mode and disappear off the table. So you've done it. That's fine.
Just advance if I wanted to.
Yeah. Now your move's going to be...
Well, there's 45 plus 20.
Right, that's going to get you off this table edge. So you've done it. Okay. So these models can be removed. James will pick up 6 victory points here. It has been a successful extraction. Okay, so passengers picked up, and the flyer can zoom away. Okay, away he goes. Well done. Okay, part of the mission accomplished here. Extraction has been a success. Right, so Flyer's on its way off, celebrating here. Great news for the Astra Militarum. And all of a sudden... okay, it's not going to happen. All right, now you've made it off there. Fair's fair. The extraction has been a success. Well done. So we put the flaps back up here. Infantry can occupy that now, and they'll gain the benefits of that building. Okay, so we'll let the Astra Militarum make their moves here. It's all about containment here to resist the Tyranid onslaught on both flanks. The extraction's taken place. The forces that remain will now try and defend both sides. If this is a success, what was meant to be a doomed city of Vaigon will in fact be well defended here by the Astra Militarum, and the Tyranids will fail to overrun the city entirely. It's good stuff here from the Astra Militarum. They're doing well. All right, so moving for the Astra Militarum here on turn 3. Hellhounds are swung round and going to try and form a flamer wall here against the Tyranids as they advance. I think James's specific target is those gene stealers to try and hose them down. Again, jury rigging and the tech priest helping to restore wounds back up to 17 here with the Bane sword. He's maintained the line here with this guard squad. It's pulled out of combat here against the Broodlord. Flaps back up here, so the veteran squad's now taking up position inside this Sky Shield landing pad. Chimera's reversed into position to hold here. The other Chimera now empties, move through to lend some fire support. Ogrins have remained where they are, so too has a specialist team. Then across here, backing out of combat but holding position with these guard squads. Characters have moved up and behind the main line. Then around here, has backed out of combat here against the Hormagaunts with this guard squad, and they've gone upstairs just to try and increase the distance for a possible charge coming through from other units. Backing out of combat here as well against the Hive Crone and the Winged Hive Tyrant, and preparing to blast them away with superior firepower. Then around this side, another unit of tanks has arrived. It's the Demolisher tanks, so they've turned up here. A whole load of heavy tanks now available for the Astra Militarum. Other tanks having to move forwards here to make room for them coming on. Sentinels moving up here as well. Conscripts full of confidence now, holding position.
There's a Commissar right behind him.
Oh, right, okay, Commissar with a pistol drawn as well, helping them to stay where they are as well. And the Baneblade's not moved, still on 20 wounds. So movement all complete here. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Astra Militarum on turn 3. All right, so Psychic Phase complete, quite straightforward here. Here, first of all, Psychic Barrier cast, and then Night Shroud cast on the other Super Heavy. James, again, trying to keep those two Super Heavies as protected as possible. Psychic Phase complete, we'll go on to Shooting Phase next for the Guard. If they drive the Tyranid monstrous creatures back here, they'll be in a strong position. We'll see how effective Astra Militarum firepower can be. So James is going to fire the Bane sword here to kick off firepower. The main gun's going to fire all the way across against the Toxicrene. So how many shots do you get with that?
2d6.
2d6. Everything else is going to go into this here to try and finish off the last 5 wounds. So 4s for hits.
Yep. I don't reroll ones because it's a super heavy auxiliary detachment.
It's good shooting here. He's got 5 hits. Yeah. Strength.
14.
2s to wound.
Wounded.
You've all wounded.
-4.
Just
3 damage.
Go straight for the armour.
That's decent.
It's dead. Right, I've just ran him across the board for the second time, and now you can remove the Toxicrene from play again. He's gone. Oh dear. Right, so Toxicrene vaporised, just its spaghetti tendrils fall to the ground. The rest has been turned into red mist here by the Bane sword. Good firepower from the main gun. 2 less cannon shots into the Winged Hive Tyrant, needing 4s.
1 hit.
1 hit. 3s to wound. So take a 4+ invuln save to try and block this, which we pass on the 6. And then it'll be heavy bolter shots coming through to try and pick off a few more wounds. 4s to hit here with these. And then it will be 5s to wound here for the Winged Hive Tyrant. Strength 5, toughness 7. So there's a few. We'll need to make some saves here.
5 saves.
5 saves. So 4+ will take 2 wounds to come through. It's down to 3. It's not quite dead yet, but some damage being caused. So pretty good hit. One of the main monsters destroyed here by the Bane sword. Baneblade's going to fire next. Heavy bolter's going to go into the Raveners. 2 last cannon shots into that closest Carnifex. And the Demolisher. There's decisions to make with that. Range 24. The main battle cannon for the Baneblade's going to go across here. You can see this Hive Tyrant here. Demolisher going to go into the Raveners as well. Okay, plenty of firepower available here from the Baneblade. Okay, autocannon as well. It's going to go into that Carnifex there. So James will fire that, needing 4s.
1 hit.
and needing a 4 to wound.
Yep. AP
Does wound. Take a 3 up save, or 4 up save, which we pass on a 4. Okay. So 2 las cannon shots into the Carnifex, which is on 6 wounds actually, so it has taken some damage already. 4s for hits,
Yep.
1 hit comes through, 3s for a wound.
2.
No, failed. Okay. And then the main Baneblade cannon is going to fire across here against the Hive Tyrant.
3d6 shots. So that's 9.
9 shots. That tank does have the horror, has been cast on that previously, so it is -1 to the hit rolls. So it's going to make you on 5s.
Yep.
Okay, right, so 5s to hit here
9 shots.
against the Hive Tyrant. James gets 4. Okay, just the Tyrant Guard nearby here, so they might be able to absorb some of the damage, or should be able to.
Strength 9. All wounded. AP -3.
Be -3. Okay, still got my Invuln save
Yes.
of 4+. Which I passed 2 of them.
3 damage.
3 damage, which I will I'll take that on the one of the Hive Guard here. So 2 pluses, and they'll absorb that as mortal wounds. They do. All right, so we'll just lose one of these models here, and that'll take the damage. 0 damage coming through here against the Hive Tyrant. So Demolish is going to fire into the Raveners now. D6 because the unit's a bigger target. 5 shots. This could hurt here.
4s. Oh, sorry, 5s. Cause
5s, yeah, because of the horror. Just the 1 hit comes through. 2s for a wound. Yes, all right.
D6
So,
damage. Because of demolish.
D6 damage, yeah.
And no.
Just the 1 wound. Okay, so Ravener's still full strength. Okay, heavy bolters to finish off here. So looking for 5s.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's good shooting.
9, that's
Yeah, very good. 3s to wound with strength 5, toughness 4. And absolutely dreadful. Sorry, James, but that's, that's horrific. Just 2 come through. Saves a 6+. No, so we do lose a whole model in the end, but not much damage so far. Okay, so that's the 2 super heavies have fired here. Not too much damage so far. We'll let the Astra Militarum continue with their firepower. Still plenty of guns remain in play here. James has more tanks that have arrived on the table as well. We'll press on here with firepower for the Astra Militarum. Right, so lots of firepower taking place here on this side. 11 Gene Stealers brought down, a load of heavy flamer shots come through, heavy bolter shots come through as well. Another one caused here on the Tyrant Guard. That was heavy bolter shots come through from the Basilisk. The Basilisk main guns fired, and they've taken out one of the Carnifexes just here, so that's been brought down. Quite hard to hit though, the Venom Thropes providing that -1 to the hit rolls. 2 wounds caused here on this Carnifex. That was firepower coming through from the Manticore. Again, 5s to hit, helping to keep these Carnifexes alive, reducing the amount of damage coming through. Winged Hive Tyrant's been brought down. Finally, firepower coming from this squad. The heavy bolters come from the Bastions also, but it did absorb all the shots coming in from the las cannon teams here and the missile, the rocket teams here as well. But it did absorb the shooting from this las cannon team. And the missile team here as well passed a load of 4+ Invuln saves, keeping it alive. It did take a lot of effort, but finally the Winged Hive Tyrant was brought down. So again, Tyranids quite resilient here. Many of the monstrous creatures still alive. So pressing on with the firepower around here, Morlock's still intact. Both of these models need to be removed here. They've been slain. Combined firepower coming through here. James issuing orders that granted rerolls to hit, and wounds come through here against the 2 lictors. They have been destroyed. 2 wounds caused here against the Turvagon. That's firepower again coming in from the Plasma Obliterator. 2 wounds taken on the Gaunts, and 6 wounds taken on the Termagants here, and then the Hormagaunts here destroyed. That was firepower coming through from the Ripper guns from the Ogrins. Alright, so shooting around this side here, 1 Carnifex removed from here. This one's on 5 wounds, this one's on 5, this one's on 5, but not removed here. Crucially, they're still alive. Old One-Eye, the character, no damage taken. Then around here, just 1 wound left on this Carnifex, but it's still in play. But just 1 wound remaining. Then the Lictor here down to 1 wound left on that one. And then a few more wounds coming through against the Raveners. They're moving across here. Hasn't dealt with the 2 flyers. The Hive Crone remains in play on 6 wounds. 8 wounds left on the Winged Hive Tyrant here. And then casualties coming in. 10 casualties here. Good firepower coming through from these squads. Heavy bolters firing through as well from inside this gun emplacement. Then around here, 12 casualties on these gaunts here. 4 wounds now left on the Hive Tyrant, but still crucially remains alive. So Synapse will help keep these units on the board and not suffering from morale. Then round here, 2 casualties, 6 casualties on these infantry squads moving through. But still, the Tyranid Tide continues to move through. Astra Militarum haven't entirely repulsed them here. Still plenty of options available for the Tyranids. Firepower is complete now here on turn 3. We'll go on to charges. I don't think James will have any charges here to take place against the Nids. Alright, so no assaults to take place here. We'll cover some morale here to see if any Tyranid units flee, and that'll mark the end of turn 3 here for the Astra Militarum. Yeah, so all units in Synapse range here, so no morale issues at all for the Tyranids. They'll absorb these casualties and fearlessly press on. We'll go on to their 3rd turn next. Astra Militarum have caused some damage, but is it enough? We reckon for the Tyranids to win the game, they need to secure 5 of these objectives in order to pick up the points. It's a tough task for them. Guard still have plenty of units left in play, but we're sort of the middle stage of the game here. We'll let the Tyranids have their turn 3, see what kind of impact they can make. Turn 3 coming up next for the Tyranid Horde. Right, we're on turn 3 now for the Tyranids. We reckon they need to make an impact now, so they've got to start breaking into the Imperial line. Astra Militarum holding well and securing all of the objectives here at this stage. But we reckon Tyranid forces need to win the game 5 of these objectives, 5 out of 6. They've got to make a massive impact if they are to stand any chance of winning. This turn will be crucial for them. Number of monstrous creatures should be able to get into close combat here against vehicles and start breaking in. But if the guard can resist them, then James should be able to see his way through to victory and secure this sector. Maybe this city of Vaigon will not fall to the forces of the Tyranids. We'll see. We'll go on to movement now for the Tyranids here on turn 3. Okay, so movement here for the Tyranids on turn 3. They're getting a bit close here to the guard and a chance to charge multiple armoured targets. Exocrine here has remained stationary, so we get to fire twice and a better ballistic skill. They were going to try and break through this firewall here that James has created with these Hellhounds. So Genestealers moving up, Tyrant Guard, Hive Tyrant, and also the Trigon moving ready to charge as well. Carnifex is pushing through, so these are poised to potentially charge into the Banesword. There's also, you can just see there, a Broodlord moving through as well. Raveners have gone 12, nice and quick from them, ready to potentially charge and lay down some firepower. 2 Neurothropes have moved. One of the Carnifexes here. So 3 wounds left on him, moving across. Venomthropes there to protect. Then round here, this Broodlord's sneaking around, looking to get a charge. Can advance and charge with these, they're nice and quick. The other Broodlord's going to cross to the other side there. Potential charge into the Baneblade. The problem's Overwatch against these super heavies. They can bring even the toughest of monsters down on Overwatch here. We've rolled up and got one of the Hive Crone's backs. It's flown in 30 inches. The tide's surging ahead here, so crossing the Aegis defence line, nibbling at the fence and starting to flow through. All of these units have moved. They've birthed an extra unit of Gaunts. These Hormogaunts here have just moved 8, so they're poised to charge. Then around here, this unit that was back here has had to advance. They'll not be able to charge. These have moved. These have moved. Warriors have all moved. 5 Lictors have turned up here, 9 inches away. These have moved, ready to charge. It looks like we're going to start breaking into the bunker here with the units on foot. Flyers have relocated, ready to fire and charge. Then around here, the Carnifex wall moving through, threatening the flank of the tanks here. The 1 wound Lictor has moved through towards the conscripts. Probably be suicide to try and charge in, but maybe able to harass with a bit of firepower. This Carnifex with 1 wound left. Might go after a softer target, is perhaps one of these Sentinels. Arrived here with the last Trigon and Genestealers coming up through the tunnel, 9 inches away from these vehicles. Rippers swarming through, and then recycling. Genestealers, a fresh unit of 20, and a Broodlord's turned up here on this right-hand side, just representing this never-ending tide moving through. So we'll go on to Psychic phase now, for the Tyranids on turn 3. Okay, Psychic Phase complete here. Smite and Psychic Scream, great results, knocking wounds down to 5 here. So 6 wounds being caused against this Hellhound that came from the Hive Tyrant. Smites that came from here, needing 10s by the time I used Smite from other units, so none of those went off. That was against the infantry here, but Catalyst was cast successfully just there on the Trigon. Then Smite from here went off, down to 14 wounds from 17 on the Banesword. Smite across here went off as well from this Broodlord. So what are you on to now? This one, wounds?
17.
17 wounds left on that one. Then here this Broodlord cast the Horror, and that went off on the Baneblade as well. Then around here Smite fouled from the Turvagon. Smite fouled here as well. No, Smite Perilled, actually, double 1. Then we command rerolled that to try and stop the wounds coming through against the Hive Tyrant. And then across here, Smite, we rolled double 6 and Perilled, took a wound. And then 4 wounds being caused against the Psyker, and he has been destroyed. So pretty impressive display of psychic powers here from the Tyranids as the Hive Mind increases its pressure on the guard. Psychic Phase complete. We'll go on to Shooting Phase next. Okay, so on Shooting Phase here, this has stood still. The Exocrine, it's in range 36. Going to try and hit the Super Heavy here. So we're going to get 2 rounds of firepower because we haven't moved, and it's 3s to hit. So those have hit. I'll use a command reroll here to try and get another hit, which we do. Strength 7, toughness 8. 5s to wound. 0. Ah, no, not so good. It's a tough unit to take on. We'll fire again. We've played Pathogenic Slime here as well. 2 command points, and it's +1 to damage, so I really want to try and make the most of this. It's disastrous firepower. 0 wounds come through, and the Exocrine has made no impact at all against the Super Heavy. Toughness 8, yeah. James shakes his head here. Going to need more firepower than that if we're going to try and bring this thing down. 14 wounds remain. Thought I had a good chance there. It would have been AP -3 and 2 damage. 3 damage a time, actually. But we failed to wound against the Super Heavy. We'll see what other kind of firepower we have. Maybe, yeah, I'm going to fire this Carnifex here. We'll do it now. D3 shots. 3 shots. 3s to hit with enhanced senses. I'll command reroll this one. Really want these hits to come through. Yep. And then 3s to wound. They've all wounded. Okay, so AP -2. This is all good here, but James is on +1 to his armor saves, so you're on a 2-up save, and then becomes a 3-up.
-2, 4.
4-up save. He's got command rerolls on standby. He's +2. Is he going to let that one through? It'll be 3 damage if he does.
Do a command reroll.
He's going to command reroll.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
It's a desperate fight to try and keep these Super Heavies alive here.
2 warlords with the same warlord trait. No. And my reroll.
Uh-huh.
So 4+. Save.
Oh, I saved on a 6. trying to destroy us because it'll dishearten the guard if these Super Heavies are brought down, but it's proving difficult here with shooting. That's why the Tyranids need to be aggressive and try and make it into close combat, but just trying to destroy this here because I got a bad feeling Overwatch will bring these beasts down. We'll press on with firepower for the Tyranids, but you can see how they're struggling here against Imperial armor. We'll fire him into the same target. Come on. 2 shots. 3s to hit. I've got 1 command point left, so that's just the one. 3s to wound. 1 wound comes through, so 4-up save again.
Save.
6 again. This is defiance here in the name of the Emperor. They were not causing damage. We'll keep going, but a lot of the heavy weapons here being fired and not having much impact at all. Okay, so the rest of the firepower resolved here for the Tyranids. Tentaclids here coming from this Hive Crone. Down to 13 wounds now in this Super Heavy, so it's half destroyed. One of the Ogryns brought down and a wound put on another. That was firepower coming in from the Warriors here, and also the Hive Tyrant with the Stranglethorn Cannon. Flesh Borers firing through here. 1 casualty in total on this guard squad. This guard squad through here's taken some casualties as well, 2 on them. 4 casualties in this front squad, just the sergeant left alive. That was firepower from 30 flesh borer shots coming through. And then 1 wound taken on the heavy bolter team. That was from the firepower here from the Hive Crone. Then here, warriors firing through, deleted that squad, so they're gone. One of the command team gone, just the medic left. Then around here, 2 casualties on the... These flamers are heavy flamers?
They're just flamers.
Just flamers on this squad here. That was firepower coming through from the Hive Tyrant, actually, there. Then the draw cannon firing down here took out one of the bases for the mortars. And more mortal wounds coming through here. That was Tentaclids being used. Quite an effective weapon, actually, of picking up mortal wounds. Down to 12 wounds now on the Baneblades. That's half destroyed as well. 1 wound caused here on this front Russ. That came from the Biopulse here from the Trigon. Then we fired the acid spray here across, put some more wounds, 2 more wounds onto the Baneblade. So the total there is 12 wounds remaining. And that's pretty much the firepower complete. This kind of effects here fired as well. Stranglethorn cannon across and missed. James on Night Shroud here, so -1 to the hit rolls proved quite difficult to get the hits coming through. That shooting phase complete. Raveners actually, they fired across the veterans. James passed a load of saves, took out 3 of them being brought down. Whittling down the guard here, but still the defence holds for now. But thinned out here, this objective looks in a bit of jeopardy. Then around here, still a good strong presence on this one. This objective is about to fall. And then across the other side, the Baneblade still sits on top of the other one. So still looking healthy enough for the guard. Despite the attack on both sides here, they're still holding their ground for now. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next. I think this is a critical point here in the game to see how many vehicles the Tyranids can make contact with. Alright, so contact made all across the board here, getting a bit of a sticky situation for the guard, as you'll see. Contact has been made all across here, so all 3 of these Hellhounds have been reached in close combat. The Tyrant Guard were hosed down though in Overwatch. Then the Hive Tyrant charged in, absorbed all of the Overwatch from 2 of these. Trigon took a wound going in. Gene Stealers, they charged in after the other 2, so they didn't take any damage from Overwatch. But these are in trouble now. Round here, 2 Carnifexes did make it through. 1 wound take on Overwatch on the lead one. Once that made it in, the Broodlord piled in and charged. And the second Carnifex, a good roll from that as well, has made it in. They've charged across. Now this Super Heavy's in trouble. The other one swung around, big charge, and has gone round behind the guardsman, but has made contact there. Then round here, I've just moved the Raveners in. We declared that charge earlier on. They were to go in after the Carnifex. We hadn't moved the models, but they've made it into contact as well. The Broodlord has swung round, taken no damage on Overwatch, and has gone in against this specialist squad just here. So trying to protect these guns, but Tyranids starting to break in now, and then round this side they have well and truly broken into the compound here. Gaunts charging in, Hormagaunts charging in, Hive Crone charging in. Gaunts charging here as well, so this is it. This is where they start flowing in to the main compound. Then around here, foul charges here though, so this area is quite safe. Foul charges all the way across here, just this unit of Gaunts charging, Hormagaunts charging in up the top. Then we took 2 casualties in Overwatch actually from...
Supercharged plasmas.
Yes, that's true. Here, we attempted a charge here and brought down one of the warriors and put 2 wounds on another. That was supercharging coming from those 2. So that's kept the Tyranids off of this sector, these 2 lone guardsmen with their plasma guns holding them back. Charged in here. Hive Tyrant charged in as well against the mortars. And then across this side, just as you're thinking it's getting bad, Carnifexes have charged in, and the Gene Stealers, a very good roll from them. Contact made here with this Carnifex. This one's been contacted by Carnifex Gene Stealers. Old One Eye, Elictor charging in afterwards. Another Carnifex charging against these. This lead one here. So all 3 of these in big trouble. Then you've got the possibility of pushing through as well after combat. 1 Ripper base gone, but it's made it into contact here to silence this tank as well. So, just 1, 2, 3 Russes here will be available to shoot, but then that's not taking into account consolidation moves, which may well silence this one as well. Trigon didn't make it in, had to pass through the crater, -2, and despite adrenal glands, didn't make it in to combat. But scary stuff here from the Tyranids. These aren't reinforcements, these are units that started the game. This is the first units that came on. They've made it all the way up the table and now made contact. So, just to mention actually, the movement phase didn't bring many monsters on, didn't roll many 5+s at all. So, not much in the way of reinforcements in the form of larger monstrous creatures for the Tyranids. So, that's the situation. It's good progress from the Nids. They have done well enough in this game, but is it enough? We'll press on to combat resolution now here on turn 3 for the Tyranids. Right, so I'm going to attack here. James can interrupt. He's got 3 command points left. This thing can defend itself quite well in close combat. We're going to attack with the Carnifex with 3 wounds left. Get 4 attacks. First of all, 4+ for a mortal wound. We do not.
Living battering ram.
A living battering ram, yeah. Then we need 4 hits. 3's to hit -1. We're going to use the crushing claws here. God, they've all hit. That is a really good roll, just at the right time.
Strength times 2.
3's to wound. Strength 12. God, they've all wounded. AP -3.
AP -2.
Psychic barrier.
Because it applies to the next psychic phase.
+1 to all saving throws. Yeah, okay, unit saving throws. Nice. Okay, so...
All.
4s.
4s. No, 5s. AP -3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5s.
5s to block these.
Say 1.
That's going to be 9 damage being caused here against the Super Heavy. That was an excellent attack there from that Carnifex. So that's very impressive there. 4 wounds left here. James will interrupt play.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
So he'll attack back here against this, or one of these Carnifexes. Probably attack it back against the one that hasn't. Well, there's one of 3 wounds. That's the one that I attacked with. The one that hasn't attacked yet has got 7 wounds left. Right, James will attack here. 3 attacks. Needing 5s.
Hit once.
A hit comes through.
Strength 9.
3's to wound. No, he doesn't wound. Oh boy. Okay, so we'll press on here. The next Carnifex can fight. Yeah, living battering ram. Doesn't put a mortal wound on. Crushing claws again. 4's to hit. We've got 2. 3's to wound. Oh boy. 1 comes through. 5 up save, or it'll be 3 damage. No, down to 1 wound left. 1 wound remains. This thing is in a real sorry state. The Broodlord next to try and fight to see if we can pick off the last wound. We should be able to get this here. 6 attacks. 1 of them's missed. Strength 5. It's going to be 5s to wound. Oh! Reroll those 2. Oh! Okay.
-6, so 6 damage.
Oh, bypassing the armour, straight through the armour. Right, so you can roll this dice of doom here to see if you detonate. What an explosion it will be on this flank here of the Astra Militarum. Here it comes.
On roll a 6, it does 2d6 range, d6 damage.
Oh no.
No.
That's a 3. Do you want to come on reroll that one? Okay. Super Heavy destroyed. Oh, one of them has been brought down here by the Tyranids. Alright, Gene Stealers here. Acid more attacks. Need 3s. There's no Broodlord close enough to help them out. That's a hit. 5s and 6s. These are AP -3, so 3 saves are 6+. Just trying to strip away the last of the wounds here. James already up across the other side. Save 1. Down to 3 wounds left. And we'll see if Rending Claw attacks from the remaining Gene Stealers can take off the last wounds here. So, Rending Claws. Again, 5s and 6s would be good. 2 5s, 2 saves at -1. So I need 4s.
Save both.
Pass both. Alright, so this one does remain. So now it's down to, I've got 2 monstrous creatures here. I've charged both, so we'll think about what to do here with the Hive Torrent. Yeah, we'll try and finish this one off. We need 1 successful wound to come through here. So 2s for hits, 1 of them's missed. 5s for wounds. Yeah, 1 wound comes through. It's AP -2, so 5 up save. Or this Hellhound will be destroyed. James rolls a 4. Okay, so this one's gone. James can roll to see if it explodes.
It's just a regular Hellhound, so it's not a 4+, it explodes. It's a 6+.
Okay. No, alright, so a wreck here, and then, well, we'll stay where we are because we're in combat against this one. So just swung around a bit here, and we've removed the model from play just to grant access for moving through for units. The Trygon next is going to get 7 attacks at 3s to hit. Can we roll 1s? That's a hit, so we'll take away the misses. 4s to wound, strength 7, toughness 7. No wounds come through, and that's nothing we can do about that. So that's not been scratched at all. We'll do the tail actually. Hits. It's going to wound here. James can make a normal save here of 3+. No, D3 damage. We just scored 2. Alright, it's down to 6 wounds here, but Trygon disappoints here against this Hellhounds. So James trying to create a screen here to block these from coming through. It sort of worked, not too bad. And James can back off again, and then there'll be damage, or he can then do Overwatch to try and block them again if they try and charge. We'll press on with the close combats here. Broodlord, by the way, swung around against the closest enemy unit and went in against the guardsman here just to silence them. Did take a wound as James attacked back, but happy enough just to tie up that guard unit. So this outer defence here has pretty much collapsed, and Super Heavy brought down. There's trouble now for the Astra Militarum. If the Tyranids get in amongst the artillery, it could all be over. Combat's resolved here. Raveners have slaughtered the guardsmen. They've now claimed objective number 4 has fallen. This outer defence is now gone. The Tyranids have broken past this area. Carnifex just sat where it is whilst the Raveners murdered the occupants there of that sandbag emplacement. We've made a consolidation move 3 inches towards the nearest enemy unit, so moving ahead with the Raveners 3 more inches. Going well here for the Tyranids as they press on their relentless attack. Alright, so we've resolved the rest of the combats here. 3 guardsmen slain from the specialist weapons team, no damage done in return. That was from the Broodlord. Then up here, we contacted the heavy bolters. They attacked back and caused a casualty. We weren't able to attack them. Killed the lone sergeant here. 3 casualties in total, now just the lone medic left. And then up here, I think there's a casualty each here. Not much damage being done with the fighting taking place inside the bastion. Then round here, fighting continues. 2 casualties in total on James's guard squad. 4 now on the Hormagaunts. 1 more model slain from the Flamer team. A mortar base has gone. That's attacks coming in from the Hive Tyrant, and a wound left on the other. So they're in a sorry state. And then around here, the Sentinel destroyed by the Carnifex. Oh, One Eye destroyed this Limrus. 3 wounds left on this one. Some rending attacks coming through from the Gene Stealers. 7 wounds left on this one, so they've not been destroyed. And then no damage at all here with the Rippers. That's the combats resolved here. Tyranids are breaking in. Guard need to try and blast away as many of these monstrous creatures as they can. But time's ticking away. The game's moving on. We'll be going into turn 4 coming up next. And the guards still stand a good chance of making a good defence here. So we'll go on to turn 4 now for the Astra Militarum. See if they can repulse the Tyranids here. This is the closest the Tyranids have got to breaking it. And indeed they are starting to break in. See what the guard can do to try and keep them out. Alright, so movement done here for the Astra Militarum on turn 4. And sensing that James could drive the Tyranids back here. All is not lost. Tyranids have made contact, but still plenty of resources here for the Astra Militarum. And James lining up some firepower. The Bastions and their heavy weapons teams should prove very useful. James's artillery is all available here. And the Baneblade still defiantly remains alive. And James will be able to get some firepower from that. And half the tanks across the other side as well. They weren't contacted in close combats. They're available to shoot as well. So James has a plan just to explain what's going on. Backing off here with these 2 Hellhounds. Again, they'll prevent smoke's been activated, okay, and they'll prevent a Overwatch wall as well for the Tyranids as they try and charge through. Backed out of combat here with this infantry squad, sort of manning the burnt out wreckage there of the Bane Sword. But we reckon the firepower that can come from these Bastions and heavy weapons teams, plus James can level the guns with the artillery to blast these creatures away. If we can deal with sort of this lot here, that'll keep the Tyranids back. James is placing smoke. That'll keep the Tyranids back, and it's all about creating that gap there, and that'll enable the guard to hold the line. Backing out of combat here against this Broodlord that is in amongst the guard here. Ogryns have now been committed. They've swung around the corner here. They plan to shoot and then charge to repulse the Tyranids. Backing out of combat here. Heavy bolters are pulled back. James will give them an order to be able to fire. Characters lining up to charge. Bayonets fixed with this squad. They've moved across. Hormagaunts are a soft target, and guardsmen happy enough to charge those with the bayonet to drive them back here, all in a bid to try and hold on to objective number 5. Characters that were down here have been pulled in. Medic, company commander here, all pulled in together. There's a Lord Commissar, priest, all lining up to charge here. And the idea is to try and whittle these down, charge into them, and again reduce that attack. It's not too much of a threat here, really. So the guard stand a chance of repulsing the attack here. Then a sneak attack coming through. 9-inch advanced move made here. This is Demolition's team. James is going to try and take down the Hive Tyrant here, and the Chimera's moved ahead, and this squad prepares to fire. Then across here, still holding on. Actually, there is a Commissar has moved through to fire his plasma pistol and then maintain within 3 inches of objective number 1, which is currently clear of Tyranids. The objective number 3 up here, still being held by the guard, thinned out severely, but so too has the Tyranid attack. Backing out of close combat here against these 2 flyers, and again James has firepower that could cause trouble. Strong bastion here with some las cannon support. Sentinels all in position to fire. Backing out with the Russes, it will be this one, and this one. They're all available to shoot here, along with the Bane Blades available to fire as well. So on this side, if James can deal with it, a lot of these Carnifex is already carrying lots of wounds. If he can repulse this attack, you can see the big gap now for any other Tyranid reinforcements arriving. So if he can bring down as many monstrous creatures as possible and thin this attack, the guard will win the day and hold most of these objectives. The extraction's been a success. Can the guard now hold the line on both fronts? We'll go on to Psychic Phase next. Psychic Phase done, just 1 dice in of 5+. The main Psych is gone, he was slain last turn. So Psychic Phase finished. We've gone to Firepower next. Right. Yeah, no, this is... Firepower's been excellent here from the guard, just as they need it. I'll just cover the firepower. I haven't quite finished yet. James has got a few more shots to go, but it's looking very, very healthy. So, Carnifex here brought down and destroyed. Carnifex here brought down and destroyed. That was firepower coming from las cannon team up here. Missile team up here. Heavy bolter fire was directed from the 2 bastions, along with veterans. James forgot to disembark that squad. We let him put those out. Firepower from here, the Chimera firing through. Heavy bolter fire coming through from the Bane Blade as well has ripped apart the Raveners here. Just 2 of them left, so that's blunted their ability here in this fight. Then down here, we still have 1, 2, 3 basilisks on standby here to shoot. So James is just doing the rest of his firepower around the board, and then he'll call in artillery support wherever it's needed here. So I haven't quite got rid of this Broodlord here.
To get back into the fight.
Or so they can shoot.
Correct.
Right, go on then, fire them now, James. 3 melter shots. He's pulled back out of combat, then issued an order that lets them shoot. He's got his 2 hits.
2 wounds.
He's got his 2 wounds. We need 5+ here, otherwise there will be trouble for this Broodlord. We passed 1.
2d6, I'll choose the best, give you an armor bang.
Yeah, you have 4 or more, and the Broodlord is gone.
Dead.
Got him. Yeah, now we're looking very healthy indeed for the guard. So, Ripper guns, loads of frag grenades being thrown. The bolters pull back and could shoot. Rapid fire shots coming in here from this squad. A total of 16 wounds being caused here against the Hormagaunts. All of those are gone. It's just 5 left in that squad. So excellent firepower here from the guard. And then James preparing to try and relieve this unit fighting close combat with the Ogrins to charge in. So it looks like he should be able to repulse the Tyranid attack on this side as well. So looking really good. Then coming around here, it was a failed attempt at throwing the demolition charges. No damage at all. Missed with all of them. Okay. Well, if you send guards without demolition charges against the Hive Tyrant, they're going to be nervous, and they have failed to hit the target. There's still 4 wounds remain on that Hive Tyrant. Good plasma fire came through. You resurrected one of them with the medic. So 3 of them fired, and you wiped out my close combat warrior squad. Okay, gone. And looking pretty good for repulsing the Tyranids here as well. 5 casualties on these Hormagaunts. Get back in the fight, and flamer shots coming through. Excellent. You fired the heavy bolters here?
Yeah, they caused no damage over there.
Against the comedic skin, yeah. And this plasma obliterator's fired?
That fired, got hot on one of them, caused 4 wounds on the turret.
Yes, that's what we've... Yeah, the Turvicon's been destroyed and removed. The backlash there, just 1 casualty on each of these gaunts. But Big Mama's gone. That's a blow there. And Synapse is gone as well here for these gaunts. So
I ordered to get back into the fight with them, so that's why they shot.
They shot because they ordered back into the fight. Fine. Yeah, no problem at all. 4 casualties now in this Hive Crone. Still 7 on the Winged Hive Tyrant. And then around here you can see a blistering volley from the 2 rank deep conscript unit. 10 Gene Stealers brought down by them, 60 shots coming through, and then heavy bolter firepower coming from these. Sentinel firepower has helped bring down the Carnifexes. They're gone. That's the dead part for those. A total of 13 casualties being caused on the Gene Stealers at the moment. James hasn't finished yet. What tanks have completed their firepower
Well, I
here?
fired my las cannon, knocked out a Carnifex. Fired
Yes.
the Hunter Killer with the Agura Raise reroll upgrade. Killed another Carnifex.
Oh, just as you need it.
And then I'm going to fire the Heavy Bolters to finish off the Gene Stealers.
Yes.
And I'll fire the Relic Battle Cannon.
All the way across, against the Carnifex across the other side. I'll show you the one he wants to pick off. He's trying to remove the closest threats here. So it's got 2 wounds left. James would like to remove this one here from play. So battle cannon shot, you can just about see. Here it comes.
2d6 shots. So it's 6 shots.
6 shots. This is his relic battle cannon. It's been superb here in this game.
3s to hit.
Yep.
This is a tank commander. I reroll 1s because he stood still.
5 hits.
Strength 8.
3's to wound.
3 wounds.
3 come through.
8
Yep.
minus 2.
AP minus 2. Oh,
3 damage.
straight 3 damage. Usually would be D3. Yeah, okay. Good play. I've got no command points left. Burnt out here. So our attack's been decimated. Just as I thought as we were breaking in, the Tyranid assault has been seriously blunted here. Okay, take another one off. Another Gene Stealer removed from play. That's the bolter fire coming through. Okay, so how many tanks you got left now to fire over there?
Well, we've
There's a
got
Demolisher still.
Demolisher cannon. We're going to shoot.
Okay, so to let James complete the rest of his firepower here, but it's going well. Yeah, that is good. James has just picked off the Carnifex. That was Demolisher cannon coming through. That's the Carnifex that was just near. James will point it for us. The Carnifex was just there. Yeah, and then the Hive Crown. That was firepower. One last cannon shot got him, picked off the wounds, and the Hive Crown's gone as well. Thinning out the Tyranids here, seriously. I think this has been the best round of firepower here from the Guard, just as they've needed it. Any other firepower from your tanks left?
Basilisks.
Basilisks, right. So now James can call in the artillery to mop up what's left. He's going to fire the guns here at the winged Hive Tyrant across the way to see if he can finish him off. There's 7 wounds to try and pick up here. So the first Basilisk, heavy bolter firepower, he's going to try and put into this Broodlord here to try and finish him off.
Spend command points. No, it's all my command points.
All command points gone. He's used the stratagem to fire twice here. So going to go into the winged Hive Tyrant. Here it comes.
Yeah. Using the Vigilus
Yep.
stratagem. So 2d6 shots. I'm going to re-roll both because there's an Earthshaker cannon and I'm shooting twice. So that's 8 shots.
8 shots. So 5's to hit? No,
No.
we're not at flight mode, are we? No, it's okay.
mode,
It's
no.
4's then.
4s to hit, re-rolling 1s.
Not so. Yeah, no, it's all right. 4. 3's to wound.
Strength
2 wounds to get through.
8 minus 3.
Right, so we'll take 4 up in one. So it's a foul 1.
D3.
D3 damage. Just a wound. It's down to 6. They've proved quite tough here in this game, these Hive Tyrants of different types, either the winged ones or the ones on foot. They've survived quite well in this Apocalypse game. So we'll go on to the next Basilisk here. So there's this one that fired heavy bolters in the end, going after the Hormagaunts just a second, just about to see them, and no hits. Right, he's going to shoot at the Hive Crone with this one, and heavy bolter at the Gaunt. Well, heavy bolter can go at the Hive Crone as well.
Yeah, may as well.
Okay, here it comes.
So 6 shots.
Nice.
4s to hit. Real 1s. Because
Stood still, yeah.
Canadians.
Nice, come on, this is good.
Strength 9.
3's to wound.
2.
2 wounds come through. AP minus.
3.
Can't stop it.
2d3.
2d3 damage. Oh, just the 2 wounds. Struggling here with the artillery. I think most of the work's been done though by the tanks, so it's just a little bit of extra firepower here. Okay. Last Earthshaker, he's done the heavy bolters. 2 hits come through. 3's to wound. Double 1. All right, so it was a good job. The other firepower's good because artillery's not been so impressive. Manticore's already fired. A little bit of firepower left here for the Guard units here and there, but most of it's been completed. Okay, so last bit of firepower, 3 casualties here on the Gaunts. That was firepower coming in from James's mortar team. Okay, so you fired the Hydra.
Yes.
That's done. Okay. Right, okay. So that's all of the firepower done. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch. I think James does have a few. The Ogren's looking to charge here for the first time in the game to try and aid their Imperial Guardsmen brethren. Okay, so charges are taking place just in this sector here. James was tempted to charge with the conscripts, but they're going to remain behind the sandbag emplacement. They've held the line the entire game. And have they taken a casualty? The conscripts?
Nope.
So all 30 of them remain. They haven't budged an inch in this game here, just one volley after the next. Yeah, no, they'll no longer be conscripts after this game. They'll join the regular ranks here. So multiple characters and squad charging in there, and the Ogryns charging in. They should do really well here against the Gaunts. James has got a huge unit of 9 of them charging in, getting extra attacks and so on. But we'll resolve these combats down here as the Guard looks set to push the Tyranids back. Okay, combat's complete here. It was the priest that helped out. Extra attack, and he charged in, so re-rolling hit rolls as well. It's actually wiped out the Hormagaunts here, so they've been removed from play. Last unit to consolidate in was the Guardsmen. They've lined themselves up along the edge here in defiance of the other Tyranid units moving up. And then through here, 4 plus 7, so 11 casualties in total on the Gaunts. So excellent attacks coming through there from the Ogryns, about 37 odd attacks coming through from them. The Guard squad fighting 5 attacks got no hits at all. Then we caused 1 wound, which was saved on a 6. A wound here against one of the Guardsmen there. So 0 damage caused by the Gaunts. They're doomed. The attack's been repulsed here, and this is what's left now for the Tyranids on this flank with 1 Hive Crone. So this has been a good display here from the Guard at the end. We reckon the game is finished now. The Tyranid assault has been repulsed on both sides. Just a little bit of mopping up action to do. I could try and do some damage, but there's 1 Broodlord here. In fact, we'll do a bit of morale, actually, because that may well remove some further casualties here for the Tyranids. Yeah, some morale resolved. Ravenous hold, actually, because there's a Neurothrope just behind them within 12. Then morale, no problem around here, no problem around here. The last Hormagaunt's gone, his morale broke, and then the Genius Tillers with 14 casualties there, morale melted away, so they have gone. The game's over now. The Tyranid attack has been repulsed. We could try bringing on more and more reinforcements. You can imagine the fighting continuing here, but for the time scale in our game here, the Tyranid assault has been repulsed, and the Astra Militarum have given a great account of themselves here in this game. They haven't faltered. Morale's been excellent for them. Their firepower's been steady. And just at the point it was needed, an excellent volley from both sides, on both sides here, on both flanks, has helped to repulse the Tyranid attack, which was starting to break through. So Astra Militarum defenders will happily carry on the fight here on both flanks. Currently, they're coping with the Tyranids, but who knows what would happen if the game pressed on, or indeed the campaign pressed on here, and the Tyranid attack continued. It may well wear down the Guard, but that's something left for the imagination here. But in this particular fight, and this time scout that we've witnessed here, the Tyranid assault on both sides has been repulsed. We'll get a final score here, but it is a whitewash here for the Guard. They've done exceptionally well. Okay, yeah, victory points here. Not total, because the Tyranids here have wiped out the resistance on that one, but they're not close enough to claim it. So 0 points here to the Tyranids, 15 points for objectives on the board, and then 6 points for the successful extraction of the characters. So 21 points to 0 for the Astra Militarum. Despite the scoreline, we think the game was fair enough. Tyranids had a good chance. They had a good attack on both sides. Plenty of models here. Points were fair enough. Plenty of units being recycled as well. But the Astra Militarum making good use of their defences, and their firepower have repulsed the Tyranid attack. It's always a classic, Astra Militarum versus Tyranids, and it's been an enjoyable fight here. Nice fluffy sort of feel to this one.
Yeah. I like the narrative.
No, the narrative's been enjoyable here. So the armoured column came up the street here, hotly pursued by Genius Tillers and other Tyranid units. The Valkyrie arrived early, ahead of time, picked up these important characters and took them away to safety, along with Creed, who hopped into with Kel injured as well, so they're off to the Medi Hospital. Then the commanders that have been left behind have, instead of crumbling and panicking, they've held the line. The morale's been good. Morale's been really good, yeah. And casualties, not too bad. And the Tyranid assault on both sides has been effectively repulsed. Great game. Enjoyable fight here. Keep a lookout for more Apocalypse on the channel in the future. But in this particular fight, the Astra Militarum have been led to glory here against the Tyranids. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Alright, so units of the game. It's hard to choose in such a game of large scale. I'm going to give it to the Winged Hive Tyrants. They will be useful. This one in particular, just flying around, psychic powers, a lot of DACA, survive the game, so definitely useful enough. James is going to give an honourable mention to this plasma team here. Well, they were very good, but he's going to give unit of the game here to this tank commander with the relic.
3 monsters in 1 round.
Right, oh yeah, the firepower's been superb.
That relic battle cannon in the
Really good.
Book is very good.
It's from the Vigilance book, okay. That's units of the game for both sides.